Bill is here.
No, we're here.
Hi.
We're online now.
Hello.
Bill is here.
Well, he may be.
I guarantee it.
Okay.
Tweet is what I've done.
Speaking is what we're doing.
Is this the Purred Happily Hour?
Yes.
Talking into the microphone is the action that I am performing now.
Go to that. Click this. See that. Hit the heart.
There's that weekly trip to Twitter. All right, get the fuck away from this nightmare escape.
Come on.
Got Bing standing by just in case we need to look up Josh Hutcherson.
We need Josh Facts.
Josh Facts on Bing.
Josh Facts.
Josh Facts.
Let me jam that retweet button. Slap it like it owes me money.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Pause the live stream. What am I doing? Eating up bandwidth.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like some sort of monster.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Jeez.
Jesus.
Hey, look, Bill's here. No.
Wish you weren't a liar.
Man, good one. Yeah, got me.
I did. I so got you.
Got him. Did someone post it to the Discord?
Oh, you bet I did.
Hey, there's Bill.
Yeah.
See?
Liar.
Bill's here.
I wish you weren't liars, both of you.
Hey, Bill, can you hear us? Can you hear us right now, Bill?
This is an audio test. Audio test.
Hey, I got an email.
2,
Yeah?
3.
Yeah, it told us we went online. Hello, Blazing Star.
Okay. I guess Bill can hear
Yeah. Well, we have to do a software update, and sometimes
us. Uh-huh.
that sometimes makes it go away.
Sometimes it does. Hey, Star, you blaze it.
Episode 420. Yeah, am I right?
That's the weed number.
Episode 64. Blaze it. Episode 187. Nintendo.
Yeah. I'm so glad the cop dog fell on episode 187.
That was planned.
So goddamn perfect.
That was planned. You think this thing's just happened unintentionally?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not that.
Okay.
I assure you.
Cop dog.
Not that, I assure you.
That dog was a cop. Hey, thanks for the compliment on my shirt.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. You're all Halloween-y.
Yeah, I am.
I don't look at Chuck's. Not that section.
Chesticles.
Yeah, it's just... It's
You don't
it's
look-
it's
you don't
up
look at
here-
my
it's-
chest
it-
region?
It's up here and down there.
From my chest pubes
Yeah.
to my ball fro.
Pretty much, yes. I don't look anywhere there.
What if? We have fun here.
Yeah. I have general chest blindness when it comes to Chuck.
I understand.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, did I break BJ?
Yeah. You just visualizing ball throws.
That never fucking happens.
You can't get it out of your head, can you?
That's all you can see now. Man, we lost a watcher
That's
for that.
why I'm laughing so hard. Just the word ball throw.
Ball throw.
Yeah, throw a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah.
happy 420, everybody. What?
Yeah.
It's not?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
What? Okay.
Welcome to our live stream, everyone.
Yeah, where we dick around for the first few minutes while we wait for people to show up. In case you ever just like jump in and you're like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Well,
Yeah. We're just waiting.
we waited a
If
few
you were
minutes.
here, we might be into the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta get here faster. Like, ring that bell and poke the tortoise and
Yeah.
Tickle the Chupacabra, whatever the thing
Right.
of the week of YouTube is.
Yep.
I'm eventually going to future-proof all the things for the notifications.
Okay.
I'll just say all these random dumb things.
Breast pump that notification omelet.
Yes.
2029. You guys will get it.
Oh yeah. When they dig this out of the rubble.
How did he know?
Oh my god. The notification omelet. He is the one true king.
All hail Nostradamus. Mm-hmm.
He called you a chuckle pumpkin. How's everybody's weekends? Good?
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah?
His was a little hazy.
Yeah.
Couldn't get out of bed, so he bought a new bed.
Just like, yeah. Toss me out with the old bed. Get me a new bed.
Just like, hey guys, when you deliver my bed, get me out of this old one.
That was really my plan. It was kind of a Gilbert Grape, so it's a great
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Hey, Gilbert. Thanks for bringing the bed.
Honk.
Are you goosing over there?
Oh, I'm always goosing. Ah,
Ah.
that goose game is good.
Yeah.
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 It is fun to play as the goose.
Oh, the
The
goose.
goose is loose.
Journey.
Just trying to figure out this 7-year gap between writing this and then being like, you know what? What if we made an evil Superman movie?
Yeah, what the fuck were they doing for 7 years?
I don't know.
Just hanging out with their brother? Like, hey, you're
Yeah.
making Guardians. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 other brothers are in this. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Just hanging.
Chuck, there's a relevant question for you in the live stream, and
Oh.
I can't answer it.
All right. Here we go. Yes.
Good answer.
You
Good
heard
answer.
it here first,
Thank you.
folks.
Thank you, everyone.
Show me yes.
Water Cooler Film says
Uh-huh.
yes.
Yes. I'm going to make it.
100 people questioned. Top 5 answers on the board.
Yeah.
Survey says.
Yeah.
Circle
So far,
takes the
it's
square.
going fine. I'm well ahead of schedule, which means I just jinxed myself and everything's fucked.
God damn it, Chuck.
Thank you for asking. Bill did it.
No, you said you.
I can't lie to Bill.
This is wood right here.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, yeah, I did. I fixed it. So,
Yeah.
should we do a podcast?
It's a thing we should probably do, yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, I vote yes.
I also vote yes.
It's a majority. Your whip isn't here tonight to
Well, I
Whip.
could use my Security Council veto, but
You want to save it
yeah.
for when it's really important.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little tired, but
Yeah.
The sooner we start, the sooner you can go home and not sleep.
there it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this.
You want to take it easy over there?
No, no,
No, you should really.
I'm trying to sit up straight here.
Don't bust a stitch, Grandpa.
I'm not gonna.
Do you need like a donut?
Yeah, you got any?
I meant for your butt
Oh,
to sit on.
oh, that's right. There are treats.
do have-
Do you want a treat?
We do have treats.
we have treats.
Do you want a treat?
Yeah. All right. Let's do that first. That'll energize everybody.
All right.
Oh yeah, we were really low level, and so what's going on?
Well, he's all like.
Did you bake?
He's all lethargic over there.
I am lethargic.
He's a lethargy.
Ah, Lethargio.
Lethargy.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
He's in the kitchen right now, guys. He's
Dude.
unwrapping
Peach is in
something.
the kitchen with something. Peach is gonna bring it right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm turning around.
It's not.
To-
Wait, why am I turning around? I know what it is.
Avert your eyes.
Okay. Where do I look?
Look at your eyelids.
Yeah, it's like it's like a magic eye picture. Just relax your eyes.
Okay, I'm
See-
looking
you're gonna see
through
this
my eyelids now.
Sailboat.
Yep.
You see
Brenda.
this, Phil?
Open your eyes.
Ah.
Your eyes.
Oh my God. That's chocolate covered popcorn.
Yeah, it is, motherfucker.
Holy shit.
And it's been chilling.
Whoa, it's cold?
It's
Yeah.
chili chocolate.
I hope y'all enjoy all these ASMR
Mm-hmm.
crinkly bags.
You guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody just had an orgasm.
They call me Colonel Chocolate.
Break me off a piece of that popcorn bar. All right, now how am I supposed to... Ooh, it is chilling.
Did it chill too much?
It's a little frigid.
Well, we could let it sit. Air.
I got it.
I have the smallest morsel of only popcorn. Congratulations, Chuck.
You know how to do this. You've had chocolate covered popcorn before. Just just whip a chunk out and snap that bastard. There you go. Yeah, show it who's boss.
Yeah, I got some leavings. Now that is a delicious treat. Enjoy our crunching. I'm having a mouthful right now.
No, but you got one piece. The smallest sliver.
All right.
I will not let you go hungry, Chuck.
Well,
I know you don't
As
mind.
BJ is his witness. He'll
I
never
will
go
never go
hungry
hungry again. Yeah. Are there peanuts in this? Am I going to die?
I don't know. It may contain nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, did you put your balls in this?
I put the Peter in Peterbrook.
Peterbrook is the chocolatier that we.
I think they're local, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Ah, the chocolatier. I am the chocolatier. I'm losing my mic.
It's pretty good chocolate, I gotta say, for this being an otherwise kind of ho-hum town.
It's fucking expensive, though.
It is, yeah.
They know what they have.
Although, I got some malted milk balls, one of my favorite chocolatey treats. And the malted bits were the most fucking stale things I've ever put in my entire mouth.
Really?
Or put in my mouth in my entire life, yeah. Like, they were molar crushingly rigid.
What's the matter over there? What happened?
Oh.
Why'd you break your...
Well, Mike. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outstanding.
I got you, buddy.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
twice tonight. I've been Johnny on the spot for you. Never forget it.
Gonna tighten up her
Tight bolts save lives.
tight bolt.
I get it. Welcome to the Snack Cast.
I can speak. You want me to speak? All right. Well, in my younger and more venerable years. Yeah? Huh? Want me to eat table chocolate? I'll fucking do it. I'm not above it, man.
You want me to eat table chunk? Yeah, motherfucker, I do.
Okay, I did.
Good. How was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
It
right.
was solid.
That's great.
Unlike this door. I guess it's actually kind of a solid corridor. Otherwise, I think, oh shit, would just be falling through.
Yeah. One day.
And one day, then we'll have to make a new door table.
Or we could just get a table.
You shut the fuck up.
You're right. I'm out of line. I'm sorry.
Yep. That's
am
the
I
key
saying?
to podcasting success to all you up-and-comers out there is,
Use a door.
yeah, just buy a fucking door.
Yeah, doors are cheap, and they're solid. If you ask for a solid one.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I can get one that's like, not been made a door yet, like has no holes, like we did.
Right.
Solid core slab door.
Yeah, slab door. Slab door. Slab door.
Slab door. Slab door. Welcome to the Slab Door Podcast, guys. We're about to rip Journey 2 shreds.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, wow. I didn't know we were going into those voices. All right. Okay.
what's the deal?
Take my wife. Please.
I miss doing that. I don't miss editing that.
If you ever need to get your fill of that sort of radio thing, just watch any of the Crazy Ira and the Douche episodes of Parks and Rec.
Yep.
All right, let's do this. We done snacking for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got popcorn in my beard.
Oh, now I got to reloop. Hold on.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Do that again. Oh.
We can charge this podcast off your chest pubes.
Yeah.
I still got all sorts of chocolate now.
All right.
I got nowhere to be, man. I live here. I live right here, under this door.
What?
Yeah.
It's the safest place in the house to be.
It really is, yeah.
Right.
Directly under the skylight.
Under a door.
Yeah. Under a skylight, under a ceiling fan, under a door.
Yeah. I mean,
Tornado
A
can't find you
million
there, man.
cables under it.
the rest of the house gone.
Yeah.
Have shit right there.
This door will be fine. Podcast equipment. Fine. Good.
All right. Well, fuck.
Nope. You were going to say, and welcome back.
I almost did. I was like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. That's because we usually do eat dumb shit in the middle.
Right.
You know, fuck me up. All right. Also do a better clap this time. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey! BMFcast.
Woo!
Yeah. Episode 484.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. It's a palindrome.
It is. Race car. So I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
We have no Mackie this week, but
nah.
regardless, what we do each and every episode of this year BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 Jacksons and Robot Jocks.
This is all
Jocks.
true,
Yeah,
including the
it's
fact that Robot Jocks is the best movie of all time.
It's true. However, there
Well,
are bad movies.
what?
This is stay away. They're getting negative sliding scale 1 to 5 bags as in giant bags of trash.
No. No.
No.
Don't like trash movies.
So, I have something to tell everybody out there.
Yeah?
It's been a long time coming, but you
It's
know
been
what's
a
back?
long time.
Rocktober.
Oh.
Yes!
Yeah. It's the second Rocktober.
It is Rocktober.
Rocktober.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Rocktober is here. Since 2013, we did for Spooky Month, we did Rocktober.
We did, yeah.
They're non-connected movies that have something to do with rocks. I mean, I'm saying, like, don't expect that it's like, oh, it's a nonstop block of rock. or it's only Dwayne Johnson, or it's only this. It's just things that have to do with rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Rock.
That being said, our first movie features one Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, it does.
Just saying, don't expect it to be nonstop Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, if this podcast is not rocking,
Yeah.
it's not The Rock in that week's movie.
What?
2, The Mysterious Island. No,
Yeah.
we watched Journey 2, The Mysterious Island.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
That is a fact.
we just watched Journey 1.
That was a little pre-planning on our part because
Yeah.
we knew we wanted to get here
We didn't want to be lost.
for this.
Right.
Yeah. Instead, we watched a movie that's a lot like Lost.
Yes.
Where they
It
go
turns
to an
out we
island.
didn't need the first one at all.
No.
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 But what do you want? You want a plot summary first, or would
Yes.
you like
Plot summary, please.
Okay. Well, I know sometimes we do other people that are in it, and then
Nope.
we do the plot summary.
Plot
Okay.
summary now.
All right. Sean Anderson.
Right. Yes.
Sean Anderson partners with his mom's husband on a mission to find his grandfather, who is thought to be missing on a mythical island.
Well, that's surprisingly accurate for a
Also low key.
plot description. Yeah.
It's not selling this movie very well.
No, but it's a kids' movie with The Rock in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is post Fast 5. This is like the first post Fast 5 big role I think he had.
Yeah.
It's just the needle hadn't quite gone to like I'm a big action star yet. It was still like I got one more kids movie in me.
Yeah.
And one more Tooth Fairy.
Right.
But yes, returning from Journey the First to the center of the earth.
Uh-huh.
Josh Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson is
Yeah,
back.
good. Josh Hutcherson.
He's our only link, basically.
Pretty much, yes.
Brendan Fraser gone. Icelandic lady gone.
Not even mentioned.
His actual mom gone.
Different mom.
Different mom. Bird gone.
No bird.
Yeah, boo.
And also they
Hashtag bring back
seem
the
to
bird.
not have money now. Like he
He stole 1 million diamonds at the end of that first one. I don't know where they all went.
yeah, but somehow they have now
Bitcoin or
landed in fucking Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, they were moving to Canada at the end of the first one, and
true,
they
yeah.
moved back to Dayton.
Yep.
Great. Everybody loves Dayton, Ohio.
Sure do.
But they moved back with The Rock.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
yeah.
that's a good thing. Other people that are involved in this movie that are BMFcast alums, besides The Rock, who is in The Scorpion King, Walking Tall, Doom, Southland Tales, Rampage, and extras Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
Also just a favorite of us in general. This was directed by Brad Payton, who directed Rampage. This features My Cocaine from
I'm sorry, who?
My Cocaine.
Okay, that's
Yes. From Jaws the Revenge and the extra movies The Swarm, The Island, Beyond the Poseidon event. God damn it.
What the hell?
Beyond the Poseidon
adventure.
I don't know why those words trip me up so much. Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. Luis Guzman from McBain and BMFcast extra movie The Substitute. And Branscombe Richard making another 7-second appearance.
Richmond. It's Branscombe Richmond, right?
I just can't
Yes.
fucking read tonight.
it's fine.
That's-
It's fine.
I mean, his name takes longer to say than he's usually in their movies.
Right. Hey, it's Brad Oh, he's gone.
And Branscombe Richard.
Nope.
I cannot read Richmond as Richard as Richmond. What the fuck is wrong with my brain? Branscombe Richmond,
Ding.
You got it.
who is also in Never Too Young to Die, The Hidden, Action Jackson, L.A. Bounty, Hard to Kill, The Perfect Weapon, Showdown in Little Tokyo, The Taking of Beverly Hills, and The Scorpion King, for a grand total of 49 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very amused that you just broke into Carol Channing for some reason. It's beyond the Poseidon.
Look, I can't.
We're here with the hot topical references.
Yes.
It's,
It's all right.
yeah,
It's okay.
it's fine.
You know, I get my one take in
it's
right at the beginning, and then
It's all mush.
I'm allowed to
It's
do
fine.
whatever I want after that.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
It's the poison of Josh
It's
Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson.
Uh-huh.
But you know what the problem is? Not only we have Josh Hutcherson there, now we got Vanessa Hudgens. We got Hudgens and Hutcherson
Right.
in one movie together.
Yep.
That's too much.
Guest starring tonight, as all of us, is F. Lee Baker. Speaking of dated references.
Yeah. So yeah, a big cast.
Yes.
Yes,
That is.
I mean, it's not really a big cast. There are
there are
8
big names.
There are 8 people in this cast.
Yes, it's like the first one. It's like you meet all the humans in the first 15 minutes, and there are no surprises after that. It's not like, oh, they're going to get in the thing, and then who's going to be in there? It's
Well,
like,
this was
it's
even.
not.
They did kind of almost double up because I mean it was really just 3 people running around for the majority of the first one.
True.
And
Yeah.
now you have 5.
Yes,
You know?
it's true.
And the thing is like all 5 are known actors for. You can name other things that they're in
Correct.
very easily.
Yes, there's
So.
there's not 4 known actors, and how did that guy get cast?
Right.
So yeah,
So, but I mean, even like his new mom is Kristen Davis too,
Uh-huh.
even though she's only in it for like 2 minutes. But it's like, hey, upgrade on the mom as far as recognizability things.
Sure.
You know. But yes,
Wait, wasn't the mom in the first one? Wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, good.
I don't know what
Wasn't
you're
it
talking
what?
about.
The first lady.
First lady.
Wasn't it? Shit.
All right, I'm looking it up. I'm getting there.
Never mind. It was nobody.
Yep.
I'm an idiot.
This is Kristen Davis, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Anyway,
I was just saying, at least someone you can say, hey,
Okay.
she was in something else.
I don't know why I was thinking of Carlo Gugino.
Oh, no, because that's The Rock's wife in other Brad Payton movies.
Exactly. Yes.
Who else? Yes, we didn't go down all of his credits, but this man has worked with The Rock 3 times, about to be 4, because this man also directed San Andreas.
Yes.
There's where your Carlo Gugino comes from.
Uh-huh.
And then they're making San Andreas 2, which
Yeah, they are.
it's a weird one to double down on. I'm just saying, like, I'd see a sequel to Rampage more than I would see a sequel to San Andreas, because, like, shit got fucked up, and how do you unfuck it and fuck it up again? That's just,
They finally fix it, and then Rampage happens.
oh, okay.
The monkey shows up and smashes everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah. Yeah, we're dancing all around this because, again, this is one of those movies where it's light on plot and heavy on effects and spectacle.
It's Adventure, the movie, too.
Yes.
It's weird because it is, on one hand, very similar to the first film, but on the other hand, it's really not. Like, the visuals have definitely been improved. Obviously, the cast has been upgraded. There's not as much 3D bullshit, even though there's a lot of 3D bullshit. It's more... The look of this film is more probably field of depth kind of thing, and not just shit being stuck in your face.
Well, I think the thing is, like, people started, like, when 3D was first making its comeback in theaters, everyone was expecting that theme park style shit is right in your eyes.
Right.
And it's like, you can't do that with those kind of glasses and that technology, period. It takes much more separation. And you also can't make a movie that is that jarring from 2D to 3D.
Right.
I mean, you can't have the 2 palettes be that separated to get that full in-your-face feature. That's why the stuff at the theme parks is only made for the theme parks, never comes out to any other medium.
Right, exactly.
Because you take your glasses off and it's just a blur. So,
Yeah.
you know, everyone was expecting that, and I think it took until about Avatar, you know, when everyone went, hey, you know, maybe it's just depth and not in my face.
Right. However, there is one spectacular 3D gag in this
Sure.
that has nothing to do with anything, but is so dumb and good.
Yes. But yes, this movie is, as we said, for whatever reason, Josh Hutcherson, who we left last time, getting a bunch of money and being like, hooray, we're Vernians and we're rich now, and
I have a bird that glows.
yeah, I fucked up the ecosystem by bringing this bird back from
That's
the
probably, maybe
center.
they got deported out of Canada. They're
possibly.
like, you go to fucking Dayton.
Yeah. But
You fucked up Canada, eh?
but all that's gone. Forget all that. He's still around, but it's just now he's mopey teenager.
He's a punk. He's how my parents, fuck them, and I'm going to do
but it starts
motorcycle stunts.
Yeah, I was gonna say it starts on. He's in the middle of a heist, I guess, of sorts.
He broke into the satellite building and
Yeah.
stole some coordinates of things.
But he's being chased by cops and riding a dirt bike and
He
crashes in a pool, and
Yeah.
officers catch up with him and are like, "Hey."
called a
and-
rock to come pick you up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, you know, you're like, oh, okay, no, Josh Hutcherson's in this because it's the sequel, and then like, wonder how long before the Rock shows up. It's like 2 seconds later, and it's like,
Yep.
hey, what are you doing, you punk? You're lucky. This is the thing I don't understand. Like, the cops call him in, like like he's another cop.
They do call him in as if they're all on the same team.
And he
Right.
arrives in a vehicle that looks like a cop vehicle.
Yes, like
Yeah.
he drove it off the Fast Five set.
But the thing is, he's ex-Navy, which gives him the special skills needed for this movie. But he's currently a construction worker.
Yes.
No, he's a contractor.
Oh,
Like
well, okay. Well,
Like he's not just like, some guy slinging a hammer. He's probably a general contractor or something.
sure.
That's what I
yes.
would assume.
Okay.
Yep.
He's in construction. I'm
Yep.
just saying.
Yeah.
In no way, shape, or form is he affiliated with the law enforcement.
No,
But
unless
yeah,
he's undercover.
but yeah, he rolls in and is just like, well, I'll take care of him. Thank you for calling, officer.
I'm his stepdad, and then Josh Hutcherson is like legal guardian.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah, there's a lot of shitting on The Rock in this movie, and this is the most like gentle Rock that you've seen in a movie that we've seen in a movie. He's the
Yeah.
most like just kindest, nicest, soft spoken. Just hi, I'm The Rock, and I love you, kid. And the kid's like, fuck you. It's weird. Everyone shits on The Rock throughout this movie for no reason.
He
Rock
only,
is
and he only punches one thing.
yes.
I mean,
He should be punching a lot of things throughout this film.
if he had punched Michael Caine, he would have turned to dust.
yes.
So,
Michael Caine, not The Rock.
right.
I don't know. You don't know that.
That's true. I
You don't know the true powers of
Michael
Michael
Caine is 120 years old. There's got to be some secret magic going
Yeah,
on.
that
there,
shit's
but-
definitely gone bad.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, so yes, he shows up and the cops are like, "All right, he's your problem now."
Yeah.
and just go cut to he's gone home and they're all like, "Hey, what's the deal, buddy? Why are you doing this?" He's like, "Leave me alone, not my real dad."
Yeah.
Slam.
I don't want to live in Dayton.
Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, so he's back to being shitty. He's a shitty teenager who looks like he's about 20 in this.
Yes.
Probably was, but
Probably.
yeah. But yeah, he basically went to this thing to get a coded message because I'll tell it faster than the movie bothers.
Mm-hmm.
He overheard a shortwave radio broadcast of just like almost like a numbers channel, but it was just saying random words.
Yeah.
And he was writing them all down and couldn't get enough of the signal, so that's why he broke into like some satellite facility so he could get a stronger signal and get the rest of the message. So he's got it all jotted down. And he's sitting there trying to decode it, and The Rock,
The Rock just comes and is like, "Hey, buddy, what
he's
you
like,
doing?"
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, that looks like a code." He's like, I was
That's a cryptogram.
I was
I did codes in Navy.
yeah.
And Josh Hutcherson's still like, "Shut the fuck up! I don't want. Just get out of my room."
Show me
He's-
your awards from Navy.
He's like, "Whatever. This is like Morse code, and this is I can break this for you."
Yeah.
He's like, "Fine, break it."
Name 5 other songs the Navy made.
Yeah, but The Rock is just like, "Yeah, it says this."
Yeah, he's basically like any one syllable word is a dot, 2 syllables or more it's a dash.
Yeah.
It's Morse code. And he's just
like-
like it's like the island is real. Come to island.
Come to it.
make
to it.
make money.
Yes.
And then it's just like it's a bunch of like extra dumb coded bullshit that's just
It's so they can figure out the 2 more books are linked to this.
well,
It's,
this is like this is the most dumbass like kids Da Vinci Code bullshit you've ever like seen in your life because it's like
it's super quick. It's super easy to decipher.
Right.
And
Well-
it seems like it's the most important thing of all time.
pretty much yes. They're just like he's like the fast sun will get here and he's like fast. So maybe some fast. What do you mean
Son
fast? It's like
of-
and Rock's like maybe it means like maybe his last name's like fast or something. It means fast. He's like Swift.
Yeah.
Jonathan Swift.
Gulliver's Travels.
And he's like, okay. And then I don't. Basically, they figure out that they've got to get Jules Verne's Mysterious Island.
Yep.
Gulliver's Travels.
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. Those are the 3 books.
Yeah.
And each of them had a part of the map in it.
Yep.
This is all like a bunch of, like I said, dumb kid style bullshit Da Vinci Code things.
Yeah.
And The Rock just like rips them all off. Like
Just makes a light box.
yeah,
and-
makes a light box and lines them up. He's like, "There's your island." It's
Yeah.
like, dun dun dun. He's like, "Wow, okay, I've googled it, and the island's over here." Like,
Well, at first, like down at the bottom, it says "Mysterious Island" and then obvious coordinates. And Josh Hutcherson's like, "What are those?"
yes, kid who's been to the center of the earth,
Right.
dedicated the
Adventurer.
last 6-7 years of his life to
Yeah.
like becoming an actual Vernian, as they explained in the first one. And then
Yeah.
he's just like, "I don't know what coordinates are."
Yeah.
It's like
Fucker, I don't know what coordinates
I
are, but I
watched-
know those are coordinates.
I watched you Google shit on a plane
yeah, on your Vita.
under
Yeah.
your Vita. No, it was a PSP. It was even.
That's right.
was
Yes, it
preview.
was a PSP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's
yes.
no video games in this.
Right. But yeah, he's just like, the Rock's like, it's coordinates. He's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm packing now.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm going," and The Rock's like, "Whoa, slow down, son. Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm going to the island." He's like, no, son, you're not. Because I'm going.
Basically,
they get there.
They get there eventually. But yeah, he's like,
Because at first it's like, you're not going anywhere. And he's like, harumph. And then like the next day he's like, passport, 2 passports. And he's like, what?
He's like, I'm coming with you. And he's like, no.
And then cut to
I don't want to. I don't want an able-bodied Dwayne Johnson with me.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I want giant muscle man with me. Come with me, please.
yeah.
Punch
Josh
the
Hutcherson,
monsters.
You're like 4'6". You need the Rock.
Yes. It's like, just because like once he gets there, he's totally fucking useless. Hutcherson, I have no idea. He learned nothing from the first film. Nothing.
That's the weird thing is like you kind of expect it to be the look. I've been to the center of the earth. I ran from dinosaurs and all kinds of other crazy shit.
He makes one reference like, I've done this before, but it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you were more resourceful in the first film than you are here.
Yep. But anyway, they go to what's the name of the island? The Pacific.
It's a Pacific island.
Palau.
Palau.
Yes.
Is that a real place? I'm.
Yep.
We're Americans,
Yes.
geography and stuff.
Also a method of birth control.
Pull out. Yeah. Chuck, you're such a person.
I am. Yep. That's. Yeah. So they get there
Yep.
and they go to Branscombe Richmond.
Yeah, this begins the partially like again, Josh Hutcherson, who's been around the world at this point, like should have like learned
And through it.
learned a thing or two.
Yes.
Uh,
No, because remember when he crashed into Italy at the end of the last one, he was just like, "Hey, you taking the diamonds?"
Yes, but he should have also realized that the guy's like, "Yeah, I understand what you're saying."
It didn't.
It didn't click
No.
because he's just like, "Take Boat Island," and Rock's like, "Hey, hold up," and he's before Branscombe Richmond can respond, he's just like, the national language of Palau is English,
Yeah.
right? And then he's just like, yes, I can take you into my boat, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. It's
Because
like, I'm
basically
not-
he's like, I have a boat, I'm a tour guide.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to go here. And he's like, no.
No.
Nobody goes there. That's the worst part of the ocean.
Yeah.
Nothing but storms.
And then his 7
Absolutely.
seconds are over.
Yep.
And they yell at him, but we'll pay you $1,000. And then from behind a person, you see Luis Guzman just poke his head out like, $1,000.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'll take you.
Yep. And then it's just him being like, come on, come with me. And they walk up
Let me
to
take your bags.
They walk up to a nice boat and they're like, hey, sweet boat. And he's like, great, thanks. What do you think? And then pan over to he doesn't have a boat. He has a helicopter.
A shitty helicopter.
A shitty helicopter. A shellicopter.
Yeah. And
And then he's like, he yells into the helicopter. He's like, come on, get ready or whatever. And he's just like, don't worry, that's my daughter. She's just as pretty as I am.
Right.
And of course, out walks Vanessa Hudgens.
yeah. But at first, Hutcherson's like, I'm not going in that. No. And then she walks out and he's like, let's go.
Yeah. But take a second look. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Eh.
So they get
No, I want to take a moment because
Oh.
as you say, when they reveal her, it's a little like
It lingers a little too long in the wrong
it
places
goes right
for,
to her boobs.
Yeah.
for
well, it's like
Vanessa
it's like
Hudgens, who is like
Well,
14 in this
okay.
movie.
This is right after when the helicopter is revealed. The Rock looks at the helicopter and says, "What in the blue heck is that?" Now, he used to say, "What in the blue hell is that?" all the time in wrestling.
Right.
So they dumbed it down to where he had to say "heck" in this PG movie. But then 2 minutes later, they're like, "Hey, check out this underage girl's boobs." What are you doing?
yeah. I was
They
going
make dick jokes later. It's real strange.
It is weird, but yes, like the ironic sort of thing is that the internet made a decision and was like, what the hell with Jumanji 2 with The Rock,
Yeah.
with Karen Gillan,
Yes.
Jumanji.
right?
Right.
Because like, why would anyone dress like that in the jungle?
Yes.
And it's like it's kind of weird because it's almost like an in joke on this movie.
Kind of.
But then they're like, it's a video. Jumanji was like, it's a video game, hypersexualized characters.
Right.
Yeah. And she's like, this is terrible. And I feel like that movie handles it really well and like deflects like, yeah, okay, she's scantily clad, but reasons are dumb. Move on. This movie's just like, let's barely put clothes on her and.
Here's what's weird. So when the movie was over and you guys stepped outside, I watched the blooper reel.
We heard.
And
Okay.
they showed an outtake from that scene. She's wearing full overalls, like a full like jumpsuit covering everything when she comes out of the helicopter. So at some point they went back and reshot it to be sexier.
She was 24 when this movie was made.
Okay, fair enough.
So we don't I mean, they never really say what her actual age is, but she's supposed to be Josh Hutcherson's age.
Well, I was guessing she was 18 or 19 because they're talking about you need to go to college.
Right.
And we can't afford the college.
Yeah. Context clues give you the idea that that is just out of high school, maybe
Maybe, yeah.
if there's a high school
Right.
on this island.
Again, it's not the age
Not
thing
important.
Age thing isn't what I was really getting at. It's just it's funny that to me that it's like here's this character who's like we're going to barely put clothes on her and have her traipse through the jungle
Yeah.
in a rock movie, and then many years later it's like there it is again, but this time self-aware. It's just kind of weird and
Yeah.
worth noting. I was thinking it was
Yes.
kind of funny and weird.
Yes.
Anyway,
They
yes.
they fly to the coordinates and it's a big storm.
I mean, well, I they play it off like Louis Guzman is like messing with them because like this thing just takes off. It's like and it's about to crash, and he's like just kidding, let's go. And then it's flying fine.
Yeah.
Until they're like, hey, is that the storm up ahead? We should probably turn back. And then all of a sudden we're in the storm.
Yeah.
And they're getting tossed about.
and he's like, I'm not steering it anymore.
yeah. And then all of a sudden they start seeing
Twisters and
like,
shit.
yeah. I mean.
And lightning rips the helicopter apart. And they say it's a Category 5 hurricane when it's a
With
bunch
tornadoes
of
in it.
tornadoes. And they get sucked into the eye of the hurricane, but it's a tornado.
Goose section. It would be a typhoon if it's in the Pacific Ocean.
You are correct.
And B, it's clearly
A Navy man would know that.
B, clearly it's tornadoes.
Clearly they're tornadoes.
Water
or
spouts,
waterspouts, as they were more properly known when they were over water. Actually, push my glasses up.
But yeah, they crash on the island.
Yes. Correct.
Yep.
That is the next sequence.
Yeah. Well, because like mid-flight, he's like, "No, this is it. We got to fly into the." Because there was a line in the book that's like, "The winds will carry you down." Mm-hmm. Clearly, it
true.
means fly into the eye of this, and it will land us on the island. And they're all like, "Shut the fuck up, Josh." And yes,
You've literally been wrong about everything.
yeah. But there's
yeah.
there's lots of like goofy slow motion crashing as they and then wake up and
They
they're-
literally, Josh Hutcherson opens his eye a la Lost, and you're like, oh, all right, we're doing that, huh? Yeah, but The Rock is like, come on, buddy, get up. And they're like, yeah, we're okay. And then they have to go find Luis Guzman.
Well, he's
who
got tiny rocks on his face and a big rock in front of his face.
does, yeah. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Forced perspective. They have to go find Luis Guzman, who is just screaming his head off 5 feet away. And he's just buried in sand. He's like, I've been cut in half. And they're like, no, you haven't. That's your foot. And he's like, and there's a foot in front of me. And they just pick him up. And he's like, oh, I'm fine.
Yep. That's pretty much his character.
And yeah, that starts just Luis Guzman as a fucking cartoon character throughout the rest of this, just like about everything.
I partially appreciate that he was willing to go and do that. Like, I mean,
He's getting paid, man.
sure. I mean, I have a certain respect for just letting go and committing to being dumb for kids. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, sometimes it's annoying and it's abrasive and
Sure.
and it's just not fun. But then sometimes it's like, okay, I've seen this actor like be serious,
Right.
and then just watch them like tear it down and just be like, I don't care. Like, I'm having fun.
He's being a goof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
A
pretty
goof-
good
a
at it.
goofman.
Louis Goofman. He's pretty good at being a goof.
Yeah, he's-
I like his shtick. It's
He commits to it. It
goofy,
never
but-
gets to the point where it's super duper annoying.
No,
But it's
I think,
like
I
you
think the
rea-
best thing about it is that he's got kind of a huge crush on The Rock,
Yes.
or just
Yeah.
admiration. It's kind of
Yes.
weird.
Yeah. But you just realize from that moment, you're like, oh, this is going to be what we're going to get from him for the rest of the movie. And it's like, yep, that's what you get from him the rest of the
Pretty
movie.
much, yes.
You're going to get a laugh or two out of him, but the rest of it is just going to be like, you really don't need to react that way, guy. But whatever, that's what's going to happen. So
Yeah. But the dynamics are Josh Hutcherson hates The Rock. The Rock is just like, please love me, and
yeah, he's like, I'm a good guy.
I'm a
and
good
I'm
guy.
huge,
Really,
and-
like your mom loves me. Like I'm awesome. I'm doing great things for you. Like, on the island with you, man.
yeah, I brought you
Try,
here.
oh, also, we didn't even mention they're trying to find his grandfather.
Yeah.
He believes his grandfather, who's been missing for 2 years, is the one who sent this message.
Yes.
So wonder who that's going to be. Anyway,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. This is the dynamic. Josh Hutcherson hates The Rock. Rock just wants to be loved. Luis Guzman is just being a goofball.
Yep.
And is super doting on his daughter, and his daughter is just like, I don't want to be here. I hate everyone except for my dad.
Yeah, The Rock's okay.
Yeah. Especially you, Josh Hutcherson.
But get away from me, Josh Hutcherson.
well, Josh Hutcherson was trying to put the moves on Vanessa Hudgens in the helicopter
Yeah.
yes.
and everywhere else, and she was having none of it.
Right.
He's doing the hover hands
Yep.
in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Helicopter hoverhands. Hutchins.
Helicopter hoverhead. Hutchins.
Yeah.
They're greeted by a tiny elephant.
Yep. And then this is where
Tiny elephant.
yes. Yes. Yeah, shot tiny elephants. And everything was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, they're actually tiny elephants.
Yes.
Because then he's just like Lilliputian shit. I don't know. Big things are small, and small things are big.
He's like, the law of things says that is going to be a thing here, and everyone's like, "Yep, that is accepted."
Yep, we are okay with this. We are marveling at the elephants for a hot minute, and then everything else, it's like, yep, that should be small, and that should be big.
Yep.
So,
and then once again, Josh Hutcherson's like, "I found a cave. Let's go in it."
No.
Like he learned no lessons from the first film. But yeah, they just go through this cave and come out the other side, and it's the
fine,
Genesis Project again.
I mean, there's skittering and things that, like,
Sure.
you know, they
There's some millipedes.
yeah, I was gonna say they tease us this evil centipede millipede type thing, but it's not gonna be important.
They
Not
tease
really
us
ever.
like 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's like, that thing's going to come back and cause some problems, right? No.
Not really.
It's just, hey, check out this big centipede.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they go through the cave, and then it's just like, oh, wow, look, this island is mysterious. And it's like, this
Well,
just,
because like that's the thing is like they've landed on this island that Luis Guzman, who's local to the area, is like there is no island there, and then they land on it and it's like this island sucks though, and it's like yeah, but you didn't even know it was here, and then they go through then it's just this like horseshoe style beach that's walled off with the ocean and just mountains behind them. So they're like, what are we gonna do? There's nothing here, so they collect their inventory. They shuffle through this cave for like 2 seconds, and then suddenly they're in fucking like paradise. Like literally, they walked into Eden.
Yep.
So
volcanoes and rainbows and
Yeah.
hummingbirds and shit. And
and like giant butterflies, and they're like, "This is magical. It's beautiful." Except for Vanessa Hudgens, she's still like, "I just get the
Doesn't
fuck
care.
out of here."
Yeah. But they see smoke, and they're like, well, let's head towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. So the first like
I
challenge
mean, when
they
you're on
have,
an island, you follow smoke things. That's
Yes.
how it works.
Yep.
Don't you know anything?
I
Sure.
do.
Okay.
Yeah. The first like task they have, are they're walking across some rocks, and then the rocks break underneath the rock. And
Well, the rock breaks the first rock.
He does. And he's like, guys, these are.
I don't think he says guys. I think the guys count on this was real low. If
they all say it at least once.
okay. You were taking a guys count.
I think maybe like 5 guys are said.
Some hamburgers. And
yeah.
stuff? Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he breaks through and is just like, these aren't rocks, they're eggs. And then they were like, oh, look over there, it's a giant lizard. 'Cause
Yeah.
The Rock has a
giant
lizard
eggs.
phobia.
Yeah.
Just because this movie several times wants to be Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's no other reason for it.
But yeah, because I mean, dude's just walking by with an iguana on his shoulder, and he's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And he's like, really, you're afraid of lizards? He's like, not when they're boots and belts.
Yeah.
But yes, they're like, giant eggs must mean giant mother somewhere, and they look over, and it's a giant fucking like, I don't even know what you would call it. It's just a big monitor lizard type.
Big lizard.
Big
Yeah,
lizard.
big
in,
lizard.
in my backyard.
Blizzard.
But yeah, and it's sleeping, and so they're like, be very, very quiet.
Right. And then
And then they don't.
Luis Guzman just falls through an egg.
Yeah, that's
and a
right. he
weird
falls through
lizard
an egg.
fetus
Starts
hisses
hollering.
at him. And then, yeah, the thing wakes up and it's just like, blah. And it chases them around. They run from it for a while.
Well, I was going to say, what The Rock actually says, like, of course it's a giant lizard. Why couldn't it have been snakes? Yeah.
Yep.
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 Getting
That's
those,
a reference
Getting
that I
those
get.
references in for the kids, man.
I love
Always.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they run around for a while, and this, I mean, this is better than like the T-Rex chase in the first one. This looks better. It's still obviously like a dumb theme park there on a green screen, and this thing isn't real, but it looks better. The technology has advanced in the 4 years between the first and the second one.
Or they just spent more money because the first one made some money.
Yeah.
I think that's probably more the case because, I mean, the weird thing is, like, this is what, 2012?
Yeah.
There are effects that look like they're the slightly updated version of the Burly Man stuff from like the Matrix sequels. Because there's a couple of times where people just go ragdolling in really wild ways with their whole body.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, that's the same tech from the Matrix, just with like slightly more textures on it. I feel like, so it's not quite so rubbery. But it's
Yep.
like all of the physics are like the same engine basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, they run for a while. He diverts himself because, of course, Luis Guzman is running slower than everyone else, and Vanessa Hudgens is staying with him. That it's like Hutcherson goes after Hudgens because he's still just like, I'm gonna get her, she's gonna be mine.
Yep.
And then ends up like tossed around. This is one of the many times where he just becomes a stupid ragdoll.
He almost gets his head bitten off.
Yeah,
And goes flying and tumbling for a while.
but it's fine. He just bounds back up, and then suddenly they're all together again and run, and they just finally hit like their pen to like some banyan trees or whatever.
And they're like, well, this is it. But The Rock is like, I got one thing left.
Yeah. What does he say? I guess it's time for the Thunder Cookie, something like that.
Yeah, because he makes a fist.
It was in the intro. You remember it.
He makes a fist, and you're like, is he going to rock bottom this lizard? Because fuck yeah, do that. But he just rears back. He's like, I'm going to punch this lizard in the face.
Well, no. First, he tries to fight it off with a flare.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
actually the first move. It was like
Yes.
he's like, I got this, and whips out a.
And this is
a road
Hutcherson
flare.
actually being smart.
For a half a second. Yeah, he whips
but
out
in a
road
real
flare.
dick move way of like, hey, you stupid The Rock.
Yeah, the nicer he gets, the less smart he gets.
Yeah.
But yes, he like whips out the road flare and is like chasing it back, and he's like, actually that thing's cold blooded and is attracted to heat, and it just chomps the flare off. And this is where you get the dick joke where The Rock just is like, well, that's awfully emasculating.
Yeah. It's like, you just said heck instead of hell, and now you're making dick jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all like, "Oh no, we're doomed." After like, okay, then The Rock's like, "I got no choice."
Yeah, one last thing.
Time for the Thunder Cookie. Punches this lizard in the face, which does absolutely nothing.
Well, Lizard just kind of looks at me like, the fuck? And then he's like, I think I just made it worse.
Yeah.
And then you hear like Obi-Wan Kenobi off in the background. Yeah.
And then just Ewok logs start coming from every direction, bashing the fuck out of this lizard. And the lizard eventually is just like, claps.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, what the hell? How did that? And then it's Michael Caine.
Yeah. Who actually walks in like Obi-Wan Kenobi, takes off a hood and goes like, what, no applause?
Yeah.
Ah?
And Luis Guzman immediately is like, yay! Yep.
Yeah, and it's it's reuniting time, and this is where it gets. I mean, it's been weird. Just saying, this is
okay.
This is where like one of the strangest things about the movie that has no rhyme or reason to it comes is Michael Caine is immediately a dick to The Rock, like
Yeah.
enormously so. He's never met this man. I don't believe it doesn't seem that way. He's just like, hey, I'm his new stepdad, and as I'm understanding it, Josh Hutcherson's dad would have been his son,
Yes.
along with Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Because he's the dead son that was from the first one.
Correct.
So his I could get it like if like Josh Hutcherson's mom was like his daughter, like there might be some sort of adversarial thing.
Sure.
But this man
No.
has married your dead son's former wife. Like there shouldn't be like some kind of like weird standoffish attachment to this other than like you're raising my grandson. That's like the only thing I can think of, but he has given like no reason. He's just like, hey, I'm Hank, and then he's like immediately like, oh, hello Henry, and he's like, not Henry.
Yeah, please
Hank.
don't call me Henry.
Hey, Hank.
It's like, okay, Henry. And it's like, oh, God, why?
Yeah.
And
But then they just have constant pissing contests, which actually kind of become fun. At first you're just like, dude, Michael Caine, why are you being such a dick to The Rock?
Yeah.
Like I get Josh Hutcherson being kind of a dick, but why you? Immediately.
yeah.
But then it kind of sort of becomes fun because they just start taunting each other. Like Rock doesn't take it for very long. He's like,
Oh, no, The Rock immediately finally switches into Rock mode because all throughout this movie, The Rock is just the most just milquetoast, just boring version of The Rock. He is not The Rock you want him to be throughout most of this movie. He is very family-friendly Rock. I'm in a theme park movie. I am not here to offend anyone or to give the movie any sass whatsoever. It is just I am here to propel the plot.
Yep.
But he has a couple of moments with Michael Caine where he's just like, listen, woman. Like, I'm going to punch the Medicare out of you. He just says a few lines like that. And, that's...
Starts calling her.
he calls him Mary.
Or calls
Calls her
him
Mary Poppins at one point.
Mary
in time,
Poppins.
which is great because he's just like, oh, listen to Mary Poppins over here. He's going to fire us up the mountain. It's like,
Yeah, he does mock Michael Caine at one point, which is really good.
yeah.
Michael Caine says some dumb, grandiose line, and The Rock just mocks the shit out of him in Michael Caine's voice.
But yes, he takes him back to his place, and he's got the professor's like
Hey.
he's got the professor's hut from Gilligan's Island, where it's just like, look, I made all of this out of tree sap and snot.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
He used his boat to make some of it, but he's like, I made this radio out of a pop can and 6 lizards and 4 coconuts, and it took me 4 months. You know how long it would have taken you? forever, The
Yeah.
Rock, because you're stupid.
Yeah, this is the main time where it's just like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Like, or he's
Calm
just
the
like,
fuck down.
Yeah, he's just like, well, I saw you try to punch that lizard. I guess that didn't work. So I guess you fucking suck forever, huh, Rock?
Yeah.
Look, The Rock was willing to fist fight a lizard to protect his grandson.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you see.
Yeah.
Like, if you're Michael Caine, that's the first thing that you see out of this man is punching a lizard to
Yeah.
protect your grandson. You ought to be, like, at least grateful, if not polite, and not a dick, especially once you've invited him into your home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have some couth, Michael Caine.
Yeah, he's just like, had poor boat had to die. You know, made this place, made this over here.
Oh, see, he's Australian.
Yes, he is. Made a bit of this over here. It's beautiful. No, I don't.
Oh man.
What?
Nothing.
You want me to do a better Michael Caine?
No.
All
no,
right.
That was perfect.
I can do a better Michael
No,
Caine.
you're good.
Michael
All right,
Caine.
you're really good.
Fine.
Yep. The only thing that bugs me about this is that Michael Caine has made a bunch of cutesy signs for his house. Like, some of them came off the boat, obviously. But some of them are like, who did you make these signs for, dumbass?
He's got a sign that says Captain's Quarters, which swivels around to say, do not disturb.
Right.
Like, motherfucker, there's nobody else in this
Yeah.
fucking jungle.
Yeah.
But he's being very glib about everything because he's got a big cutout hole on the side of this. He's like, look, I got a 75-inch HD TV.
Yeah.
And it's on the volcano that's in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got like a toilet, and he's built a sign that says, please don't flush leaves down this toilet. It's like, is that for you? Like, who did you make that sign for?
Himself, because he's a 90-year-old man who is too dumb and too smart for his own good.
I mean, I did like that underneath his window, which was,
blimey.
he's calling a TV, he's made a little sign that says more sharp.
Right. More sharp.
But yeah, it's all real dumb. And he's just like, well, tomorrow I'm going to show you something that's going to take your breath away. And Luis Guzman says, permanently?
Yeah.
And he's just like, nah.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
go to sleep. And the camera just zooms in on the volcano, and we watch time lapse that way.
We have no idea. He has his own little quarters because he pulls his
Yeah.
little curtain to it. It's like, later, fuckers.
And they're all just like, I guess we go to sleep. I don't know, but they do, because it just cuts to after like dawn. They're out in the woods, like, oh, we're almost there.
Yep. And they've just been hiking, and I think we got like the briefest of montage, like look at the weird shit that's on this island kind
Basically,
of thing.
yeah, it's just here's a weird plant, here's a weird thing. Oh no, over there are some ants. They're large.
Yep.
But then it's just like, hey, look, Atlantis.
Yeah. Well, not directly, but yes.
I mean, basically, it's just like, here's a city, and they're like, well, that's weird, and then they walk into it. It's like, well, that's Poseidon, and so that must mean carry the two. This is Atlantis.
And they make the rock lift a heavy thing.
Yes.
To reveal the ancient writing that says Atlantis very clearly. Like,
They've written.
They both-
They have like a city seal that says Atlantis
Yeah.
on it with a big picture of
City
Poseidon.
of Atlantis, Poseidon,
Established.
founded 1048 or whatever. Like, okay, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
We know it's Atlantis.
Arthur Curry, mayor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, okay, yep, it's Atlantis. And The Rock like drinks some water at one point, and he's like, oh, salt water. This is bad, Michael Caine. Because Michael Caine's like, we got 40 years before we sink back down again. And The Rock's like, nah, you got 2 days.
Yeah, he's like, you see, besides being a naval man who knows Morse code and everything, this is what you call sinkage. I don't know. He is just like, he just walks around and is like, it's over here, it's over here.
He babbles some shit, and it's just like, okay, well, he knows what he's talking about. And they're like, oh, we got 2 days? Okay, we got to go. But first they're like, let's go in there and find Captain Nemo because we need his submarine. That's the only way we're going to get off this island.
Yeah, pretty much.
They go further into the city of Atlantis, and then there's like a cave, and Michael Caine's like, never got the nerve to go in there. And Vanessa Hudgens is
Well,
just
he's
like,
more like, I can't go in there. A couple too many donuts or something like that.
whatever. They all fried eggs is what he
Oh,
says.
fried eggs, right,
But
yeah.
but like they act like this is just going to be a tiny thing to crawl through, and it's like all 5 of them could have fit in there at the same time. But anyway, they send her in there, and it's basically again the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark because she goes over to a thing.
Well, like, they've got the classic, like, rope tied to her, so I guess they can yank her back or whatever.
Yes,
But then
just
she's,
yoink her right
she's just, like, looking, and, like, there's some extra large cockroaches, so she kind of shrieks for a second.
For a second.
And they're like, what? What's wrong? And she's like, And nothing.
Nothing.
It's okay.
Just a bug.
Startled me with fucking
Yeah.
Madagascar hissing cockroaches
Yeah.
over fucking shit over here.
And she just crawls through and
yeah.
undoes the rope. Like, well, I'm in
yeah.
here.
But yeah, there's there's a dead guy, and I guess it's Captain Nemo, and he's
got a book.
clutching a book, which they were like, I don't know, maybe his journal was buried with him.
Yeah.
Lucky it was just sitting there, clutching. He's clutching it, and this is the
Luckily, it was in a giant open tomb, and his corpse was just sitting on a massive throne,
Yeah.
lightly clutching his journal, which was perfect after.
I just
100
man,
years.
I want someone to build me a giant elaborate tomb and then just leave it directly open to air.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for.
But also, it's a dumb trap because if you dislodge the book, it does the thing at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark where it's just like, oh, everything's fucked now.
I don't think
No,
it's a trap.
I
I
think-
think it's just the island is starting to fall
I think it's
apart.
just timing because
it's just
the-
coincidence?
The trap
Yeah.
was that the giant centipede we saw earlier leaps out of his dead carcass chest, and she's
Oh.
like, smacks it with the book, and then that fucking centipede's gone for the rest of the movie. It's
Right.
like, all right, I guess that was never a threat. Just,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, I figured that was going to be like the big bad. Like this fucking centipede is like,
I mean, I'm not saying that the movie was doing this because it obviously wasn't, and it's not thinking that clearly. But especially not with the way they dressed her. But if this was made today, I might be like, oh, okay, I see it. It's sort of the Indiana Jones-esque thing of like, look at this scary thing, and the poor little girl's gonna get scared, and then she smacks it with a book and moves on with her life, and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, female empowerment. Not in this movie. It's just like, well, that was dumb.
yep. Yep.
Yeah. But also you would play it better than this movie does, where it's just like, oh, thing, smack.
Yeah.
The camera, 3D. Anyway, I'm out of here. And yes, the temple and everything starts shaking and rumbling, so she has to crawl out quickly. And it's like, I got it, let's go. And they're like, the Nautilus is blah, blah, on the other side of the island. Shit, we gotta go.
Yeah, we got to go to the Cliffs of Insanity and get over there and do a thing. And they're like, well, all right,
Yep. And
let's go.
then once again,
Well, Michael Caine gives them two options. He's like, well, we can go around or we can go straight through. And it's like, but be warned, going straight through is creepy and spooky and there'll be weird things. And they're all like, yeah, well, either that or we die. So,
and he's like, good, I just wanted you to be aware. Anyway, let's go.
yep.
Now here's the weird thing about both of these movies is I guess it's a classic style Vernian trope, but it's real dumb to me that like I know you can do more in a book form, but both of these movies are very strange because it's like here is a thing about a thing, and they get there and immediately like fuck, we gotta leave. Like both movies, the second they arrive, it's just like this shit is dying immediately. If we don't get the fuck out in the next 3 hours, we are dead.
Right.
So glad we found this thing that's going
Yeah.
to kill us in a matter of hours.
Such amazing joy of discovery to where it's just like,
That's what I
oh,
mean.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we got to go.
Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
like, at least Jurassic Park and all these things were like, hey, look, dinosaurs, this is fucking cool. Before it was like, oh, shit, get the fuck out. This is just like,
Yeah.
wow, this is really cool. Look at these giant things. And, oh, God, the island's sinking. Get the fuck out of here. It's a very weird thing that both of these movies do.
Yeah. And it's like, so two people on the planet know both these places exist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But, yeah, so it's go and have wacky adventures as we were trying to cross the island fairly quickly.
yeah.
Mostly, again, it's just, look at this, dumb things.
These things are large. These things are small.
right.
Isn't that weird?
I'm trying to think, is there like anything particularly notable before they like
Not before they get to the bees.
Well, I was going to say the bees, or is that where we do the volcano thing first? Does the volcano?
The volcano's after the bees.
I feel like they discover what the volcano is, and they have to argue, and eventually Josh
That's
has.
after the bees.
Is it after the bees
Yeah.
too? Okay.
Yeah, because they get to a point, and The Rock is like, genius, we're supposed to be way up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and Michael Caine's like, be right back, BRB.
Well, this is where he does the Mary Poppins reference, and it basically says the same thing back in a
Yeah.
much better Michael Caine impression than
Yeah.
I've been doing.
Yes. Yeah, so Michael Caine just suddenly emerges out of a field riding a bee.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, this is as far as like what I thought was going to happen. Now they've shown these giant bees in the background, giant, carpenter ants and all kinds of things. But what the weird thing is like there's very clearly like some places in this that are just straight up like, oh, I recognize that's a place in Hawaii. Like that's that's from Lost, that's from Jurassic Park. You know, all these locations, but like they've sprinkled dumb like CG or something bits in it to make it
Just weird Dr. Seuss plants
yeah.
and
stupid stuff. But like while they're standing there having this argument about how to get up this giant cliff, they're clearly showing like what look like giant, I would almost say like not mushrooms, but almost like dollar weed. I mean, there's like these big like round hooded plant things behind them.
Yeah.
And when he made the Mary Poppins joke, I was like, oh, they're literally going to go find a geyser and then like just literally Mary the Poppins themselves up with these giant plants.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so that dumb stuff is about to happen. And then Michael Caine just comes rising up out of it, riding a fucking bee like a horse. And he's like, oi, what? You never ridden a bee before?
Yeah. Come on.
And then they're like, yay! And Josh Hutcherson's like, yeah, I'm going to jump on a bee. and Vanessa Hudgens is like, fuck yeah, I'm going to ride on the bee with you because I guess we're friends now. And then the Rock's like, we're not really doing this. And Louis Guzman is like, can I ride with you?
Yeah. Yeah, and they all ride bees. And I don't understand why the bees are like, yeah, ride us. We will do your bidding because reasons.
Bees?
Seasons.
Yeah.
Just get on a bee and make it, just steer it.
Yeah, they're workers or drones or whatever. They follow orders.
No,
and-
whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, they don't just like follow orders if you tug on their little fur. They have some idea of what they're doing.
Tug on their little fur.
You got a better name for it?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Bee fuzz.
Back off.
Tug on their little
Buzz
fur.
off, Chuck.
But yeah, they fly around, and all of a sudden there's like, oh no, a bird! And Josh Hutcherson, who is an expert on birds, even though he abandoned his bird, is like,
I think the bird abandoned him, to be fair.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
But he's like, that's a throat wobbler mangrove thing. And
Which, by the way, Vanessa Hudgens, I'd like for you to do later.
It's throat warbler mangrove.
yeah, exactly. And he's like, they eat grubs and bees. And then they're all just like, this doesn't make sense because they should just be like, well, fuck these bees, let's get off. But no, they fly around like it's a Star Wars scene for a while, doing stunts and getting away from bees.
Okay, yes, for half a second. And then someone is like, why don't we just land the fucking bees? And like, all right,
Let these bees fucking fend for themselves.
there's 3 birds chasing the 3 bees.
Yeah.
The birds and the bees, that's how it works. I don't hope your parents explain this, but
If not, we're about to.
yeah, we're about to. So the Michael Caine bee and the Rock bee, which also has Louis Guzman on the back, they're flying and being
Yeah.
chased by 2 birds, and the Rock's like,
Oh, they realized there were birds because one shits on Louis Guzman.
that is how it starts.
He gets a fucking face full of bird shit, and he's like, "A bird pooped on me."
Well, for just a half a second, they're having the majestic like, holy shit, this is awesome, we're flying bees, and Michael Cage is like, just like riding stallions across the Gobi Desert or whatever the fuck he says, and, and then it's like all over Louis Guzman.
but it's also like, no, it's nothing like that at all. We're on giant bees.
yeah, but he just has like pandering like I'm an explorer and I've done awesome things moment, and then he gets shit on, and then they still don't like each other, but at this point, but this is where they're arguing about how to deal with this, and the Rock's like, you ever play chicken? And he's like, these aren't chicken, these are throaty bird warblers or whatever.
Throaty bird warblers.
Yeah.
Needle tail front bottoms. Almost had it there.
Yeah. Yes.
It was in my head briefly
I'm
enough.
gonna use that
They're
name.
twisted, giddy rock bottoms. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's just like, no, not chicken, the game chicken. And he's like, oh, right, yes,
Oi.
let's do this.
We
And
did
they-
that in old WWI.
And they literally just start flying their bees at each other and basically make the birds crash into each other and die.
In
It
an
appears they
explosion
died.
of feathers.
It appears they die. Like
Yeah.
they windowed each other. But yeah, broke their necks.
Yes.
Exploded. But yeah, they're fine. They're like, get the fuck off the bees. That was fun, but we're done now. And Josh Hutcherson, now, for whatever reason, is being chased by another bee or bird. He's on a bee being chased by a bird.
Uh-huh.
Eventually is like, you know what? Oh, first Vanessa Hudgens falls off.
Yeah, he lets her get off. She either falls or
they're
gets
like
on.
they're climbing, trying to escape the bird, and then
she does fall.
and then gravity, and he's just like, oh no, I missed you, and then somehow defies the laws of physics and falls faster on the bee and catches her very last second. And then she's like, you saved me, and he's like, yep. Stops for a second, basically dumps her off on the ground, and is like, gotta go, and it's like, get the fuck off the bee, Josh Hutcherson. You dumbass motherfucker.
Yeah, but he's like, no, if I just fly this bee away.
They don't want you. They want the bee.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bee. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it be. There will be an answer. But no. So his next plan is he's going fucking through. He sees there's been giant spiders, of course, because there's giant everything. So he's like, he goes flying through spider webs, and is like trying to get the bird caught in it, and it's like 1, 2, 3. The bird finally got caught, but oh shit, fuck, and just wipes out. Like I don't know what he hits, but like the bee's gone.
Yeah.
And he just goes flying and does the same dumb ragdoll thing as earlier, but this time, oh no, I've broken my leg. Or
At the end of it, you hear crunch.
yeah,
And everyone runs over like, oh no.
yeah. Oh,
What
no.
happened? He's like, my ankle. And the Rock's like, we don't have time for this. Because this is around when the volcano explodes.
Well, they're like, oh no, this is. He's like, this is a really bad sprain. We have to deal with this. And Michael Caine's like, not here. This place gets really bad at night. We
Yeah.
need to go.
Yeah.
So Rock and him just help. Rock and Michael Caine help him up and just like tote him off to a safe place where they build a fire.
Right.
Now, I think this is where they get the volcano dust. I'm still saying this was earlier than that. They had the volcano dust where they had the discussion about the volcano. This was long before the bees, because the bees led to what's about to happen.
The ankle break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So earlier in the movie, which I said, I thought happened, but the volcano that we've seen in the background, they're just traipsing through whatever area, and ash starts falling on them, but it's all glittery, and they're like, "What is this?" It's like, and Josh Hutcherson again for the moment gets brains again. He's like, "It's gold. Whatever's in a volcano is what it spews out, and this must be a mountain made of gold." And then they're all like, "Gold," and they're like, "No, can do. Island sinking. We got to get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "But no," and they basically
They're
yell.
like, well, let's just go get the gold.
The Rock's like, "No,
Yeah.
like we have to go down." And he's just like, "Fine,
Yeah.
I like living."
That causes some strife again.
For half a second.
Yeah.
But again, this is like one of those weird shifting dynamics, because like the Rock's like, absolutely not, no, and Michael Caine's like, you can't tell him what to do, and he's like, and then Luis Guzman, who has been like the Rock's biggest fan, is like, I want the gold too, and then Vanessa Hudgens is like, no, we should get the fuck out. It's like, pick a side, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they finally he's just like, fine, guess I won't go get the gold.
Right. Yes.
I want to live.
Instead, you will live.
So that happened earlier.
Right.
But
So it's nighttime, and they're like, we're going to set your ankle, Josh Hutcherson.
which is the old like one let's count to 3, 1 snap.
Yeah.
He's like, anything for the pain? And they're like, no, looking around. And it should be noted that like Luis Guzman had a ukulele
See.
prior to taking off. For whatever reason, it became a very important thing to grab.
Yeah.
Vanessa Hudgens and Luis Guzman have like just walked off to be in a different movie for a minute.
They really have.
Yeah.
They want no part of
Well,
what's about to happen.
it's just weird because like they're just like, well, we're
They're going to get water.
Okay, they're going to get water, but they leave, and then Michael Caine is just like, here, what about this? It's like, you know what they say, music is nature's medicine,
Painkiller.
painkiller.
Music is nature's painkiller.
And the Rock's
I
like,
don't think that
the Rock's
anyone
like,
has ever said
absolutely, I've heard that too. Anyway,
Josh Hutcherson's like, no, it's not.
he's like, well, I can sing. Let me get this thing tuned. And Michael Caine's like, you can sing. And,
Big meathead like you.
yeah.
that. We'll all be some English phrase.
Uh-huh. I'll be a salty giblet.
Yes, that's my favorite English phrase.
Yeah.
We'll be a salty giblet, Master Bruce.
Yeah. Yeah, The Rock sings with the ukulele. He sings,
does.
Well, it starts off with just "What a Wonderful World,"
He's just
Louis
doing-
Armstrong thing.
Yeah.
And then starts adding in his own lyrics.
He just starts performing lyrics based on scenes we've seen so far in this film.
There were giant bees.
Yeah. Yes.
Flew through the sky.
He sings the first verse as written, and then the next 2 verses are he's just making shit up. And it's good. It's like, this could be a Stargrove if you want to really have that discussion. But for some reason, when he's done, Michael Caine's like, you're the best, man. And this kind of ends their thing.
Sort of. I mean, he's sort of like, I'm kind of surprised
Yeah.
that like a big giant dumbass like you could
Oh, that's
sing.
right. It was like, I didn't think a Sasquatch could.
Yeah. I found the hardest thing I've ever found is singing Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're friends now, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
It's a little bizarre, but yes, this kind of. I don't know what it does for Josh Hutcherson's ankle, but it fixes their friendship.
Yes.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true. It's all true.
So I think it's like they all kind of wake up and like they're almost surrounded by water the next morning.
Yeah. They're
And
like,
they look
"Oh,
around
no."
like, oh no, water's like right here. We've really got to go. This is where like at first he was like, we have 2 or 3 days. We got to get over the side of the other side of the island. That's why there wasn't the big rush.
Yeah.
This is where they wake up and he's like, I was off on my calculations. We have like maybe 2 or 3 hours
Right.
before this place starts singing. And they're like, run. Oh shit. Wait, where's Luis Guzman?
Yep.
And
because they had he and his daughter had a conversation the night before of just like, you could do whatever you want, babe. You go to college if you want.
Well,
I'll figure out a way
he's
to
also
do it.
being like the weird opposite father because he's like, you like Josh Hutcherson, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Not really, Dad.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you do.
he's like, you can't do better than Hutcherson.
You go back to America with him and go to college, and I'll pay for it. And she's like, how would you do that? And he's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the next day, they're like, oh, no, where is he? And he's gone to go get gold.
She's like, oh no, I know where he is.
And this is real dumb, too, because then they say something like, it's going to take forever to get to that mountain. It's 4 miles away. It's like, wait, what? You guys acted like it was 100 miles away. It's only 4 miles away. I realize on foot that's a distance.
4
4
miles on foot on flat land is about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You can get 4 miles in an hour if you're not if you don't have
Well,
something preventing.
if you don't have a gimpy ankle. Like,
Right. Through jungle, though, 4 miles
I know.
could be a day
I know.
or
but
two.
It really seemed like it was further away than it is.
Yeah, but
It
they're
did
like,
also look further away. Like the shots
Yeah.
made it look like it was 100 leagues. Or
well, they may have been going parallel to it. Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, again, geography. But yes,
Yeah.
it's 4 miles to the volcano, a mile and a half to the cliffs where the Nautilus is supposed to be. No, Nautilus, by the way, in case you don't know, it's Nemo's submarine.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming like everyone knows
they got that from the book.
20,000 leagues.
They read the book.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, the Nautilus is over here. We left it there for reasons.
Right. But yeah, so Vanessa Hudgens like, I'm going after my dad. Josh Hutcherson's like, I'm going with you, and he's like, no, you're not. You're no way you're gonna make it.
You gimp.
And it's like, well, she's not going alone. And Michael Caine's like, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
So they head off that way.
Made the little lady.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, John Wayne, Michael Caine.
John Wayne, Michael Caine.
Sailing away on an airplane. Yeah, I don't know. Shrink to the size of a lima bean. Anyway, but they go off that way to go find
Why do
Louis
they let us on
Guzman.
the internet.
The Rock and Josh Hutcherson limp towards the cliffs.
They do, yeah.
So we see Louis Guzman, who's like getting to the volcano and then trips and like down a hill a little bit and basically lands by like a gold nugget. And you're like,
Yeah.
there it is, get the fuck out.
Yep.
But he goes to try to pick it up and he starts digging it out and it's just massive. Like it goes down like 6 feet and it's just huge.
It's a boulder of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Golder.
There it is.
Yeah, and he has uncovered this giant boulder of gold and is trying to lift it after he's dug it out. It's bigger than he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like,
And then she shows up and is like, Dad, come on.
Dad, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, yeah, you're right. And they don't like break
Oh,
a piece off or anything.
No, she's just like, we'll have all the money we need as long as we have each other. And
yeah,
he's
it's like that's
We'll have
dumb.
all the wealth we need
Sure.
as long as we have it.
Also dumb. Break off a piece of that
Get
gold
that
nugget.
far.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
anyway.
mean, gold is pretty soft. I mean, so you really should just be able to go, ding.
Yeah.
If they had any sort of tools at all they have is a flashlight and a water bottle, basically, and a ukulele.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a maglite would probably take off part of a chunk of
Probably.
gold. But
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
But The Rock and Josh Hutcherson get to the cliffs of whatever, and they're just like, where is it? And The Rock's like, well, the water's come up a lot, so we're going to have to dive to go get it. It's over there. He sees like a rope ladder. He's like, oh, it's over there, but it's underwater. Let's make water scuba tanks. Well, he says, scuba tanks. And Josh Hutcherson says, are we just saying things we don't have? Okay.
He goes, jetpack, a girlfriend, calligraphy paper.
The Rock's like,
He's like, calligraphy paper? He's like, things just popped in my head.
uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember the 3 things. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
So they make scuba gear, which has 2 breaths in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, let's do this. Josh Hutcherson, with your shattered ankle, dive in the water.
That's not going to stop you from swimming. I don't know.
So they dive in and they swim around, and you see like sharks, and you're like, oh no! But then you realize that they're tiny sharks.
Yeah.
So everything's
Super,
fine.
super tiny sharks.
Yep.
Super tiny sharks.
And they swim, and
They
they're
could
like,
fly up through, or swim through your urethra or whatever.
that's true. Yeah.
Maybe that's what
That's what, if you get sharks in your
Fish or whatever.
Yeah, you don't want sharks in your urethra. What's wrong with you? I got sharks in my urethra.
I've been sharking for a week.
But
yes, we see that, and it's like, oh, no threat there. And then there's the Nautilus, like there it is, all in its glory, CG shot.
Yep.
And you see like they kind of get buzzed by like a moray eel, like a giant moray eel,
yeah.
electric eel, if you will. But yeah, they're like, oh well, the eel's just like, well, it's just I was going
Buzzing
past
the tower.
Then they get to the Nautilus, and this is a weird system to me. Like the fact that they know this works, like
Yeah.
they go through all the trouble.
If
and
they don't open this door, they die.
pretty much, yes. I mean, like
If there's nothing in there to expel the water, they die.
that's what I mean. Like at least I was like, oh well, there's probably a one of those not based on power, like underside hatch things, like a dive part on a submarine. The fucking equalized pressure, like a what do they call that? It's a
Airlock.
airlock. Well, yes, but
Yes.
it's like a natural airlock. Like this is actual airlock. They go in the top,
Yeah.
Right.
have to dive in, hit a button. Luckily, it drains the room and they're okay.
Yep.
They do get buzzed by the eel one more time, but then they're fine and they're inside of it and they're like, okay, let's get this thing going. And it's like, okay, I know you were in Navy, but did they teach you how to operate like
An
150
1800 submarine.
like 150-year-old steampunk, Indian submarine? Like, I just like, there's a lot of things going on here that
Yep.
are like maybe not you're not up to speed on.
But then he's just like, I read chapter 16 of the book. You push this button. And it tries to start up, but then they realize that the batteries are 140 years old. So they come up with a real goofy plan of running a wire outside the boat tied
This is
to...
not a goofy plan at all. This is a great plan and the only plan.
Yeah,
Chuck.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I mean, all they needed was 1.21 kilowatts of power.
God damn you. How long have you been thinking of that? Tell me. An hour? 2?
No, not really.
Just came to you?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
when
so...
we said eel earlier, it just popped in my head.
Yeah.
so
He,
about 2 minutes.
He ties the cord to the battery and then ties it to basically a harpoon and straps on some steampunk scuba gear and just goes outside and is just standing there like, come on, eel, come on, do it. And they taunt the eel for a while to get it to come back, and then he just chucks this thing right at it, and I guess that powers up the sub.
Yeah. To be fair, he did go back out with actual scuba apparatus from the Nautilus.
Yeah, that's
so
what
it's not,
it's weird, dumb gear.
Which again, like, I mean,
It ain't stupid if it works.
yeah, I mean, it seems like he just puts the helmet on and just uses
Yes.
the air that's inside, like I
Yes.
was saying, before. But whatever. But yes, they keel haul the eel.
How he manages, I mean, look,
Eel.
he throws this spear really hard underwater at an eel.
Uh huh.
It-
I'm
I-
sorry.
He's
are you,
the Rock.
I know he's the Rock, but he hasn't yet moved Scud missiles on frozen lakes to murder submarines and stuff yet. He hasn't become superhuman Rock yet in the filmography of the Rock. Like, this is like the first instance of he has superpowers.
I don't think so. This was after Fast 5.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything in Fast 5 except get punched through walls and stuff. Like, he wasn't part of any of like the super duper physics defying shenanigans. I mean,
I disagree.
the only like physics defying thing is that Vin Diesel held his own in a fight against The Rock. That's the only thing. Actually, it got the better of him at the end, which fuck that forever. But I don't know. I think this is the emergence of his superpowers.
Okay, I'll allow it, I guess.
Thank you.
Sure.
But yeah, so they've powered up the sub,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Let's go!"
Yeah. Meanwhile, they've grabbed Luis Guzman and made record time back to this to like everything's starting to collapse. So they're standing on the edge of the cliff, which is now separated off and is like floating out to sea on its own.
Yeah.
And then slowly, like, there's like one moment where Michael Caine's like, "This is it." It's just like,
Basically,
like, how do you know? Like, what was your clue that like you've been on a sinking island before? Like,
Maybe he has. I mean,
Yeah.
he is an adventurer.
Yeah.
I don't think he has. But yeah, they're like, "Where are they? Oh no!" And they fall in the water, and you think like, first off, you think like they're gonna have a heroic just die or what do they call it?
Breach.
Breach. Thank you.
Yes.
Like above the water, but no, not really. It's they all fall in the water. They see the lights. You think it's from the eel for a second. Like you see some like electrical sparks and stuff, and
Yep.
Luis Guzman and Michael Caine are like underwater, mind you, like they could swim to the surface or doing like the thing over there, and it's the fucking Nautilus going like full speed, and just cargo scoops them.
Yeah. Just
Like-
opens its mouth and eats them.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like okay, wait.
snack.
Like Nemo built this in. Like I don't know, may have to scoop some people at high speed and quickly pressurize the fucking.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just
Yes.
Look, I mean, do you remember the Nautilus from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
no.
Well, there was a Nautilus in it. There was a big submarine.
I
thing.
just
Yeah,
Yeah, but that
oh,
was
generally
for them.
don't
That
remember
was
any
different.
of that.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, Captain Nemo knows his shit. He knows what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
he does.
I agree.
I mean, batteries 140 years ago. Mm-hmm. That man was obviously ahead of his time. He knew what
did.
the world needed, and the world needed a
mouth scoop.
weird steampunk submarine shaped like a manta ray that can cargo scoop somebody at high speed.
You're right.
That also happens to fly just like a helicopter.
It's not impossible.
It's not.
Yeah. But yeah, they scoop them up, and apparently they got scooped into a room that also depressurizes, and
That's what I mean. It's like they scoop them up, and like 2 seconds later, it's like the door is opening up,
Yeah.
and they're like dry.
Yeah, they're like, hey, well, it's a
Yeah,
good thing there were
whew.
towels down there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nobody needed towels, Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, they are now on the sub, and now we have to escape the rest of the island that's collapsing.
Which they basically do.
Yeah, like the Rock's driving, piloting, whatever you want to call it, for a second, and is like, Luis Guzman, take over.
Yeah.
Josh Hutcherson, push this button when I say so. Push this button, Josh Hutcherson.
Right.
And then he goes back and maybe he doesn't steer it on the ice, but he does pick up a torpedo.
He does pick up a torpedo and load it by himself into the torpedo tube, and
Which
Josh
is-
Hutcherson fires it at a rock. Not the rock, but a rock.
A rock. Yeah.
And it shatters, and they're like, hooray.
It's not how torpedoes work, but it's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah. They're distance-based, not collision-based.
Eh,
All right.
what are you going to do? It's a 140-year-old torpedo. I'm surprised it didn't blow up the second the rock touched it.
True.
like Ertz.
Torpedoes arm at a distance, but then they're collision based.
Yeah, okay. A little bit of both.
I know what the fuck I'm talking about
little
when it
bit
comes
of
to
both.
torpedoes.
You got to take the safeties off.
That too. Pull the pin.
Yep.
Throw the torpedo.
Yes. But yeah, then cut to 6 months later.
Yep. Yeah, it's just they're like, we're free. Hooray.
I mean, Vanessa Hutchinson's kiss is Josh Hutcherson.
Okay. Yeah, all right, hold on. This reminds me. We skipped the whole like your favorite 3D dumb bit in the movie. We skipped right over
Oh
that.
yeah, we totally did.
Well, because
I
it
thought
comes
we talked about it.
It comes back up
It did.
at this point
Yeah.
because
So
there is one point where The Rock is trying to explain to Josh Hutcherson how to woo a lady.
how to get a lady. His first two are pretty normal, just like do the opposite of whatever your instinct tells you to do. The second is I don't even remember. The third one is
It was actually kind of woke shit. It was sort of like
yeah.
be emotional, show her support, listen
Yeah.
to her for real. You know?
Don't just be a fucking lunkhead.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's just like, huh, okay, this movie's interesting. And then the third one's like, and then be able to do this.
He just starts bouncing his pecs back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I guess The Rock can do it too, but I mean, this is what I would call the Terry Crews.
Yes, sure.
You know, I mean, this is the Terry Crews move.
Yes.
Of the peck popping.
He's just doing it, and Josh Hutcherson's like, please stop.
Stop that.
And he's like, grab a berry. Come on, do it. And he's like, throw it at the pecs. So he does, and that's the one 3D effect that comes straight at us, is this berry that he threw at his pecs, and he bounces it into
He's
the
like,
camera.
do some more. And then he's like, no, I'm not doing any more. And Louis Guzman comes running from off screen like, I'll do more. And he's got a whole handful, and he's like, just throwing them at him, and they're bouncing off of Josh Hutcherson's head and everything. And then the very last one, he's like, last one. He's like, this is a special one. Get it right. He throws it and it bounces back in Louis Guzman's mouth.
Yep.
And Luis Guzman is so excited about
Yep.
it.
It's
delightful.
It's real dumb, but
He's like, gotta pop the pecs.
yeah,
Ladies
but
like it.
Vanessa Hudgens is like right up in his face, and The Rock comes over. He's like, "Hey, pop your pecs," and he's like, "What? No, I'm
He
not."
just
gonna...
leans into the scene. Like, he's not even supposed to be there, and he's just like, hey.
Hey, pop your pecs, and then she's just like, "Excuse me," and then just kisses him. And
Well, right before she does, Josh Hutcherson says, I don't even have pecs. And it's like right after that he gets kissed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, 6 months later.
Yeah.
How did all of this work out for them? I don't know. Probably perfectly.
yep. It's Josh Hutcherson's birthday.
Happy
is.
birthday, Hutcherson.
And Vanessa Hudgens has moved to fucking Dayton.
She's probably going to college at
I think they're dating.
colleges in Dayton.
Um,
They don't know how to read in Dayton.
Auto Detail College.
I mean,
Kettering College,
Oh.
Central State University, School of Advertising Art, Wright State University, None of those are accredited.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, it's his birthday, and
Yeah.
they're all like, "Hey, open this weird airmail envelope first," and he's like, "All right." It's like, "Oh, it's from Grandpa." Oh, he says he'll give me his present when he sees me. Oh well, this letter is stupid.
Vroom, vroom. Here's Grandpa.
And then Grandpa, fresh from like the old dog set, has come in.
Well,
Like-
we got to mention because like Louis Guzman, how he's affording to send her to college because he did not get his gold.
No, he did not. But he kept
But
the Nautilus.
he kept the Nautilus and is selling tours, which is obviously going fucking gangbusters.
Yes.
Well, because it's a, steampunky, high-tech
Yeah.
for 140 years ago, amazing submarine that he can fly like a helicopter underwater.
And he has a whole crew. Like, there's just like the fucking Love Boat crew standing out there welcoming people on board. He's got a sign at the dock that says "Take a picture with Captain whatever's name is." Yeah, so he's doing fine.
Yep. Yeah, Michael Caine rolls in and it's just like, "Oi, got your present right here."
It is. It's a book.
It's a book.
It's a book.
Open
Why
it.
do we read books, Master Tertian?
Next summer would go on vacation.
Yeah, we're gonna go as a whole family.
Yeah.
To the moon.
Moon.
Yeah. It's another Verne novel. It's
Yep.
from the
Earth to the Moon.
And they're all like, "Why not? It's only the moon."
Yeah, we
Full-
could do that.
Pull out shot to the moon, and then it's like dun 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 to be continued.
I sure thought like they were zooming out to the moon, and then they were just going to show weird monsters on the moon. Like, oh, here's what they got to deal with when they get to the moon. But no, it's just like, here's the moon, and here are credits.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, we're finally somehow done talking about this.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot for.
For being a thing where we're like, I don't know what the hell happens,
Yep.
but we talked about it.
We sure did.
All right.
Yep.
What's the ruling on the Rock Grove?
No, I don't think it earns one because
Go on, rules committee.
it's like musical rules. Could you really give a musical a Stargrove? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Because
depends on
it's-
it depends on like if
Because
they're-
it's an in scene, it's an in camera thing. It's not secondary music in the background that's playing over something, while it's happening. It's actually the Rock playing this song and singing it, and obviously making up words that go along with the adventures they've experienced. I don't know.
it's a secondary award. It's a Rockulele.
It's
Because
a Rock You Gently.
oh, I don't know. I'm just saying it's a thing. It's probably
Yeah.
it probably does not meet the actual definition of Stargrove.
All right, I just want to point this out.
Okay.
The Apple got a Stargrove.
Did it?
Now, granted, that song did have that movie did have a song all about the apple in it, and it was describing what people were doing.
So I don't necessarily
It's a good point.
I don't necessarily subscribe to it, the musical rules as far as like if it's happening in a movie. I just think the song has to be hyper specific about what's happening or going to happen. And this is more like him just doing a dumb.
Well, if it's an end credit song, it's about what has happened in the movie, and at that point, The Rock is singing about things that have happened. It's fucking Stargrove.
But the credits song is the regular Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Right. I know, but what I'm saying is
What a
that
Wonderful World.
when we give
Both.
when we
That version is.
yeah.
Oh,
When we give a closing credit song a Stargrove, it is because it is describing the events that have come before it. And what The Rock does is sing a song about the events that have come before that moment in time. So he is singing about movie events that have happened.
Yeah.
It's
Based on those facts, I mean, I didn't really want to give it a Stargrove, but I guess
what's it gonna hurt?
nothing.
Okay, there's no integrity of the
No.
Stargrove here. It's getting it.
Well, I started off on the opposite side of this, so it would hurt my accuracy.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, it's all right. No one's gonna hold it
Feelings, my
against you.
feelings.
No one's even gonna remember.
yeah, true.
We'll just look back at the list and go, yeah, that had a Stargrove in it.
All 9 people that listen to the podcast will remember.
Yes. So now
Right.
we rate it.
we do.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and go.
Go ahead.
All right. Can I take a quick gander at what the ratings were on the first one?
1.
I gave it 1.
Yes.
1 jocks.
1 jocks.
Was I the only like lone positive person on it?
No, BJ also gave it a jocks.
8 jocks. All right. That being said, that it doesn't change my rating. It just actually sort of reinforces it. I'm going to give this one 2 jocks.
Ooh.
I think this is a little bit more fun than the first one.
Okay.
Do I think it's better? Probably only because like the people are more interesting. It's more fun watching The Rock and Michael Caine and stuff like that than it is like watching Brendan Fraser, like as you kind of said, look like he's literally broken.
Yes.
And like I said, that's not a bad thing because I like Brendan Fraser. I'm just like it's kind of depressing because it's like he's given it his all, but it's just like, oh man, what happened? What did life do to you?
Please heal, sir.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
But
for
like
us.
this one's just like kind of just feels more genuinely fun. It's also just as dumb though. Like it's not any like better put together or better written or anything like that. It's just slightly more fun in a weird way. And I think a lot of that has to do with, even though I was complaining about the animosity, the unplaced animosity between Michael Caine and The Rock, it ends up being real fun with them just going at each other.
Right.
Yeah, it's not amazing, but it is slightly better than the first one, I think.
All right. BJ.
So I gave it and jocks.
You did.
The first one.
You need some time?
No, I got words trickling in.
Okay.
They'll all settle out by the time I finish this sentence. It in some ways reminds me of a kiddie version of The Rundown. The Rundown had The Rock and Stifler and Christopher Walken. And it's got a little bit of that, The Rock and a younger kid who doesn't give a shit about him going on a journey through some woodlands to achieve a goal, some woodsy lands. Why are you chuckling at me?
Some woodlands.
What?
You're right.
Some jungly shit, some tree areas.
All these things.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't play Magic.
All the
I don't know
environments.
what they're called. But, it's obviously way toned down as far as the violence and language is concerned. And I kind of enjoy The Rock doing that buddy up with with somebody who doesn't like him thing. And he gets to play it two ways, one with Josh Hutcherson and one with Michael Caine. And as silly as some of the effects are, as quickly as I feel like it clips through a bunch of shit without bothering to stop and smell the roses anywhere, it kind of works. I like Luis Guzman. I think even though his character is just a goofy screenball for a lot of it, I think he really nails it, and it's kind of effective. Vanessa Hudgens is almost like her character is kind of useless in general. Like there's no,
They just don't give her much to do.
and this isn't like, that's exactly what it is. They don't give her really anything to do, and she doesn't really do much with what she's given. So it's just, that we could completely forget about that character and have another even further stripped down cast like the first one. It's fine. I think it is slightly better than the first, so I will give it a 2 jocks. Slightly more enjoyable. But if you want The Rock being buddy-buddy with somebody and being more The Rock, just fucking watch The Rundown. Or being, at odds buddies. Just watch The Rundown where Stifler is all of the rest of the characters rolled into one, sort of, at times. And you get The Rock cussing and kicking ass.
Yeah. I also think it is better than the first film. I gave the first film a bag, so I'm going to give this one 8 jocks. The first one, like we said, felt like a 15-minute theme park movie stretched out rushed and went on far too long. And the first one just felt like green screen the movie. It felt like they are on some sets, and then they are just in nightmare world of CG. It felt like more production value to it, like filming it in Hawaii and walking through those areas that you probably have seen in other movies. But still, they're nice to look at. This just doesn't feel as gimmicky. But on the other hand, it also feels like there's less going on. Like, the island itself doesn't seem that mysterious. It's just like, yeah, the big things are small and the small things are big. And that's a weird plant. You know? It's not like there's just like, holy shit, what is that? It's just like, oh, it's a tiny elephant.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I mean,
The mysterious part was the island itself because it disappears.
I guess. But
And then reappears.
also, that thing fucking breaks apart at the end where they made it sound like this thing just sinks and rises every 140 years or whatever. But at the end of this thing, it is just breaking into pieces.
It's magical and mysterious.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
maybe that's what it was.
That complaint was actually in the goofs.
Oh, was it?
yeah.
It was in
Man,
the-
we were just filling up the goof section of
Yeah.
this review.
Well, no, we're just regurgitating the goofs.
You ought to check out Read the Goofs.
Okay.
The Goofs are pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty IMDb-ish, but there's a lot of them.
My only real like knock against this movie is that it is just the most generic version of The Rock. It is just without Michael Caine coming into this movie and just being like, "Hey, Rock, you suck," and him going, "Whoa, wait a minute, I'm the fucking Rock. You don't talk to me that way." Without that, it is just he's just Guy. He's just, I don't know, it's like John Cena in a movie that doesn't give him anything to do either. He's just, I'm a big muscle guy and I'm here to deliver lines of dialogue. It's like, yeah, but you're The Rock. You should be just like when he kind of moves that piece of rock out of the way to reveal the name Atlantis, he kind of struggles with it. He should have just lifted that thing and tossed it across the set. Just like, hey, The Rock is fucking huge and strong. But yeah, it's just a very generic version of him. I was just hoping for more out of that. But it's fine and slightly better than the first film. I think we all agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, let's take a break, shall we?
Okay.
Yes.
So the island goof,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
it is phrased like this. So this island rises from the ocean or sinks back down every 140 years. From the way it sinks, this is a cataclysmic event. The entire island appears to break, as in stop, into little pieces. Yet, when they get to Atlantis, the ruins appear virtually intact, despite the fact that they have risen and sunk many times by now.
It's a mystery.
Mysterious island.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, you're going to freestyle?
Let me tell you kids a little something about love.
Okay. Please.
It sucks.
What is that?
More than
It's a
anything.
microphone.
Really want to know? Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right, while waiting to the middle of a cold dark night. When everything... Thinking of you.
Yep. Do I have anything to talk about? No, I don't.
I do.
I do.
All right.
A movie.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You probably just been watching some horror movies, right? I mean, or you pretty much watched all your movies.
No, I'm still watching a few.
Alright.
There's some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. There have been some cancellations, let's say.
Oh, you got a new water fountain for your kitties.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute little flower fountain.
For kitties.
Good kitties. Good kitty.
The other one's Pump Dad.
Oh.
Rip in peace.
Yep.
I mean, that thing ran 24 hours a day for
Several years.
a few years.
Yeah.
Ooh. Trying to scoot my chair forward and almost slid right the fuck out of it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Everybody ready?
Sure.
Yeah,
let's
you got a
make it.
movie, I got a movie. Chuck got fucking nothing.
I got. Yeah.
I have a movie and just a thing. I want everything.
Okay.
Quickly.
I think first we should plug 31 and 31.
No, we don't need to do that.
Stop saying no
We
to
don't
my
need to do
free
it.
advertising.
I can't stop you, but I'm not as
Good.
That's right, you can't.
You dumb bastard. You thought you could stop me?
Good point.
I made you.
Nope, hold on.
All right.
He's being nasally. Good? All right. All right, and welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast, second half.
All right.
It's the second half.
It is.
Well, first things first.
Mm-hmm.
It is, at this point, October 4th? Yes. Right? When you're listening to this at home
At
or on
minimum,
the road, at the
sure.
minimum, it is October 4th.
I mean, if you're here with the live stream, it is a couple days earlier.
It is October the 2nd if you're listening
Yes.
to the live
It's
stream.
just how about the days it actually, and then go
It's
from-
October.
It's a podcast. That's the way
It
they
is
work.
at least October if you're listening to this.
These work in perpetuity.
October 2019 has at least occurred.
Uh-huh.
And when October begins to occur, you know what happens?
The freaks come out at night.
Hashtag 31 and 31.
Oh.
They come out.
31 horror movies in 31 days, brought to you by our very own, the lovely, the talented, the handsome Chuck of
Yes.
Water Cooler
He's got a
Films.
voice for television and a face for radio.
Exactly.
He's wonderful.
All of them.
Check him out at youtube.com/watercooler. That you will get like a new video every day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I don't know how you do it.
It's real dumb. I shouldn't.
But they're that's probably partially true. I mean, for your own health and well-being, you shouldn't. But
No,
for
no.
our entertainment, you should,
Okay.
because they're a fucking delight.
All right.
And I'm, as you guys may know, I'm not the biggest horror movie enthusiast. In fact, I'm probably the least horror movie enthusiast. But I always watch every episode of 31 and 31 because I really, really enjoy your videos and your takes on these movies. And so, all of you should also watch every single episode. They are a delight. Watch them before YouTube deletes them.
Right.
That's the pitch right there.
Yes.
Because it will happen. It's probably already happening in some timeline.
Sure. I'm going to say this since you brought it up. And
Okay.
this is something that I was going to tell you guys off air, but I'm just going to tell you on air and get everybody excited. There are going to be a couple of videos this year that I'm going to forbid you guys from watching. I will give you advance notice, but I will tell you, do not watch them. Because there are a couple of movies I found this year that we all need to watch. And I don't want to wait 3 years to where it falls out of your brains that you watched this in a video.
Well, Rock, you're not my real dad.
Listen.
I've already broken into your YouTube account and watched all the videos because that's how excited I
I
am.
need you to undo that.
I cannot. I will try. I will drink a lot this weekend.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, no, there's a couple that I was just like, oh, man, I can't not make a video about this, but this needs to be a BMFcast episode. There are 2 or 3 where I was just like, holy shit.
Are we going to watch them soon?
Yes.
Okay.
That is why I'm forbidding you to watch the episodes.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
are we going to watch them during Rocktober?
No.
Oh. So I'm going to have to wait till I'm going to be behind
Yes.
on 31 and 31 for like the first time since I knew that it was a thing.
Okay. You'll be fine.
That disappoints me.
No, you'll be fine. I'll make dummy videos to show you guys
Okay,
so you
thank
can
you.
think you're up to date.
Oh, just pictures of us.
Yes.
How'd you get my Nest Cam?
Thanks. We appreciate that.
You're welcome. Anyway, let's talk about second half stuff.
Okay.
All right.
How new is your movie?
My movie's pretty brand spanking new.
Okay, well then talk about it
Not
first.
okay. It's not a particularly, oh my god, amazing movie, but
we don't talk about a lot of those anyway.
I just decided because it popped up on ye old Netflix and maximum effort. I watched the Between Two Ferns movie.
Figured that was
Okay.
coming. Yep.
Yeah.
I've been pretty close to hitting play on that.
Have you watched any of the previous Between Two Ferns stuff?
Most of them, if
Okay.
not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm familiar with it. Like I said, I don't know if I've seen every episode, but I know what it's about, and I feel like that's almost optional for this movie. Really?
Okay, that's good.
Because, I mean, first things first. Do I think it's good? It's a thing. It's not. It's not bad. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Like, I don't think like watching it is a complete waste of time. It's only like 80 minutes long. It's on Netflix. You probably have it, or can get to it.
Netflix. You probably have it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a very minimal effort involved to just hit play. Again, as you would expect if you know anything about it, the people who are real life playing themselves, i.e. Zach Galifianakis and Will Ferrell, they're made up weird versions of themselves,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, Will Ferrell's only in it because like
The funnier.
yeah,
guy
because he started Funny or Die,
Yeah.
and that's where this started. So it's like he's like this corporate overlord to Zach Galifianakis, who is like not the actual Zach Galifianakis that we know is a real person.
Sure.
It's that weird version of it. So the crux of the movie is like things happen, and he's got to like hurry up and make 10 episodes really quick. So it's just like he's just like sets off across the country to hope to run into 10 people to make episodes about in like a 2-week time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like a mockumentary.
A little bit, yeah. I will say like some of it's really funny. Like, I mean, I think the best parts are towards the very end because there's outtakes because it gives you just the tiniest glimpse of actual process into making the show, which is kind of what you kind of want to see, sort of like you want to see the making the sausage thing when it's all over.
Yeah.
Not just this like fictionalized jokey version of behind the scenes.
Right.
Which is just that he gets these people to agree to come on to the show, have these prepared dumb questions, insulting questions, and knows them but doesn't prepare the people for them.
Right.
And then just tries to get the best reactions. So watching the people sometimes hear these things for the first time, or him losing it while trying to say it, a la like Bill Hader doing Stefan on SNL. It's just like this is because I mean, like I said, we've theorized that like Stefan is like someone else wrote it and that was him reading them for the first time.
He has said that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
in several of them.
yeah, because I mean, it's just like it's really just like watching him try to hold it together as he's reading the funniest shit possible.
Right.
So this is very similar in that I don't know if he didn't know some of the questions, or he just was like, "This is, I can't believe I'm in this situation where I'm actually getting to ask this to this person and just losing it." And it's just that's some of the funniest shit in the movie. And like,
Okay.
but the rest of it's like it's worth watching, and
All right.
and there's a plethora of people that show up, like a lot more people than I was thinking were going to show up for this movie. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was force fed the trailer when I could not get to my Netflix selection fast enough, and at first was like, wait, what are they doing? Oh, all right, yeah, okay, I'll watch this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like similar to, but better than like that. What was that National Lampoon's movie? Or about National Lampoon's guy?
oh
The futile and stupid gesture.
Yeah.
It's like similar kind of thing where it's just like, holy shit, how'd you get this many people together to do a
Right.
thing? More entertaining than that.
Okay.
Though,
Yeah.
like outcome.
yes, that movie was a bummer.
Yeah,
It was
I mean,
it was about unlikable people
Right.
doing unlikable things.
right. This is
And-
unlikable people like being unlikable on purpose.
Right.
Probably not actually so.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it's cute and worth a watch.
Cute.
I yield the floor.
Thank you. The next matter that we would like to discuss, I watched Across the Universe.
Okay.
Harlow and I had a discussion, and I think it was also on the podcast a few weeks ago about musicals and stuff. And this one was recommended to me, and my girlfriend can't get enough of musicals, and especially this one. So she was like, "Oh, we gotta watch Across the Universe tonight." That's not how she actually sounds. I'm just trying to convey. I'm just trying to convey an emotion.
Sure.
Just in case she ever accidentally listens to this. It won't happen, but, could happen.
I mean, that wouldn't happen. That never happens.
Yeah, nobody...
Doesn't
nobody
happen with people who
listens
want to
to
listen to us.
Right. Nobody listens to this on purpose. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
That's almost a completely appropriate reaction.
I'm glad you think so.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, are they trying real hard in Across the Universe. Boy, that's a pregnant pause. I don't want to outright shit on this movie because I don't think that it's necessarily bad. It looks good. It sounds good. The singing is all well done. Some of the musical sequences really fucking go places, and I really appreciate that. Like those, it was like watching 17 redone Beatles music videos in some ways. I wish Bono hadn't been in it because I don't fucking like that guy.
I didn't even remember he was. All right.
He was the bus guy.
The benefit of Mr. Kite
Yeah.
bus. Yeah.
The bus
He was
dude.
in that segment. Yeah.
Him singing. God, fucking huge brain farts all of a sudden.
I mean, I know Eddie Izzard was in it.
Yes, I liked Eddie Izzard in it because I fucking love Eddie Izzard.
I just didn't remember Bono being in it, but there's a lot that goes on in that movie. It goes places.
It does.
One second, I'm gonna look this up.
All
'cause
right.
My brain. Yeah, I Am the Walrus is
That's right.
his big part. Man, I just really didn't like. I just don't like Bono. Fuck him. But it feels like somebody was like, "Man, I'm gonna write a musical. It's all gonna be Beatles songs, and it's gonna be about the war." And like they sort of like they picked all these things out of a hat and then they had to write this all together. Everything feels so on the nose, and it's like it's kind of a amateurish script and story, but I can't deny the fact that the leads in this movie, or whoever they got to sing for the leads, can sing. The arrangements are good. The direction is pretty good. I just feel like the story was kind of the story and the music placement was just so fucking on the nose. It felt really clumsy in that way,
Sure.
but I had fun watching it at least. So, there's that.
So I'm curious because I keep trying to like mildly steer you in this musical endeavor. I'm curious for you now to watch Hair,
Okay.
only because.
You feel like you're getting a handle on
Well,
what
no.
I like,
I want to see if you think it handles that better. It's a similar time frame movie, like it's about people dodging the draft and going to trying not to go to Vietnam and peacefully protesting, blah blah blah, and it just plot wise, it dances along very similarly to Across the Universe.
I'm not upset at it being about the
No.
war and
Yeah.
protests. Like a million movies have done it better.
Sure,
but
sure. I'm just, like I said, I'm curious only because, like, I mean, if I had to pick one besides the Beatles, obviously, and the lyrics of the songs and the times that they were popular, I would say, like, they were heavily influenced by Hair plot-wise when writing Across the Universe. That's all I'll say. Just, like, the way it plays out is very similar.
Okay. Well, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
And try to get to it soon. Like the fact that there's a Lucy and there's a Prudence and there's a Jude, and the only one of the main characters, Max. They didn't use Maxwell's silver hammer. I kind of expected that was like they were going to drop a Maxwell silver hammer
Probably
on
a
us.
cut song or something like that.
Yeah. But it just felt like every time I was like, okay, well, there's Prudence, so we're going to have Dear Prudence. And there's Jude. We're going to have a Hey Jude coming up. Okay, yeah, I get it. Like, it's like a high schooler came up with with all these ideas. Like, this was a high school kid whose dad was really into the Beatles or something. I don't know. It just feels really amateurish the way they shoehorned in all the songs, or most of the songs. But again, it's fun to watch. I think I would be more amenable to it overall if it was 17 music videos that kind of loosely connected together. I would feel better about it in that way.
I think Hair is more like what he's describing. Hair just kind of goes.
Yeah, there's not. Hair probably has like 40 songs in it because they're not. Any of them aren't particularly long.
Yeah.
There's very little like.
Is it a jukebox musical or is it?
Oh no,
music
it's
written
music for Hair.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
parts of it will feel like a jukebox musical because you will realize that you know these songs, but they're not pop songs.
Yeah, Age of Aquarius and things like that. It's like
Yeah.
you're in Good Morning Starshine. These things you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's from Hair.
Yeah.
But
It also front loads those things though. It's like it starts with those.
Aquarius, Starshine's about midway through the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Fine.
Well, I will find out where it's available and endeavor to watch it soon. But I mean, it's like I said, wasn't a stinker. I just, how you kind of roll your eyes at stuff. You're like, okay, all right, I get it.
I do, yeah.
You're so clever, with your song about Jude. That's good for you. You're such a smart boy for thinking of that thing that literally everybody has thought.
Let me go and warn you: never, ever watch Yesterday. Then,
Okay.
yeah.
Is Yesterday?
That's the one I was talking about. The World Without the Beatles one that I talked about last episode.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, if you think it was clumsy in its handling in that movie, don't ever watch Yesterday. Yesterday's
This
just
is played for comedic effect in Yesterday, though, right?
No,
No.
not really. It's more just like I don't know. Like he just walks outside. It's sunrise. He's like, "Here comes the sun." That's one. It's just like, yeah, okay, yeah,
But
yeah. That's not an actual example, but I mean,
this guy,
he's trying to remember the
all the-
Beatles songs
right.
without having anything to reference. So
but he knows
he mostly remembers the
he
lyrics.
vaguely
instead.
remembers
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of palatable. Like,
Sure.
if you, it's almost like, the amnesia triggers or whatever. You're like, oh, this,
Yeah.
that kind of.
I was saying, like, you talked about, like, sloppy, like, oh, yep, then another big song. Yep, okay, there's another one. And then still, like, that's the crazy thing about anything, like, that has to do with Beatles music is, like, they will cover 10 to 20 to 30 popular songs, and you'll still, like, it'll be over, and you'll be like, hey, what about...
Yeah.
There'll always be one where it's like, but what about this big giant song? Because
Because they had 45,000 big giant
Right.
songs. Yeah.
Anyway.
Bigger than Jesus. The Beatles are.
True.
You know who's not bigger than Jesus?
Oh,
Us.
I had one more thing I was going to
Oh, you had. Goddamn. Fuck. Man, that was
Sorry.
such a good segue.
Boom.
I was,
Sorry.
Hold on to it.
I know.
I really nailed it.
I know. I'm sorry. Haha, I get it. I didn't mean
Oh,
to
wow.
make you cross.
And there goes the last viewer.
Hold on.
Oh,
We're going to talk about something that people really like, or
Okay.
I
Yeah.
am.
All
It's
right.
just a follow up.
okay.
Robot Jocks.
I finished Breaking Bad.
There you go.
Nice.
There
Nice.
you go.
That's- What was that? How many seasons was that?
5.
5. I was close in my head.
Yeah.
That's not too terrible.
No, it's a pretty good show. In fact, actually,
I mean, that's not
Yeah,
too terrible
as far
an
as
amount of seasons, yeah.
Right.
But you've been laid up So you've had some
I had some time.
had some time.
Had a little bit of time on my hands. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think like what to say that hasn't been said a billion times, and I guess I'll just speak personal experience somehow, and you have to realize this. Breaking Bad was just one of those things that when it happened, and I wasn't immediately on the train, it was just kind of one of the. I had a similar reaction to like how Mackie had with Doctor Who. If you're a Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/BMFcast, then where it was just like, okay, I get it. Shut the fuck up, and maybe I'll watch it one day.
Right.
You know, like it was just that kind of reaction of like, I instantly dislike this or don't want anything to do with it because it will either A, not meet what people are selling me, or B, I'll just be like, yeah. Or, you know, it's like, it's just your overreaction is going to taint this in some way. So I literally just waited for the hype of Breaking Bad to die down just a little bit. It was like, it was never that I didn't want to watch it. It was just like, shut the fuck up and let me watch it on my own terms. You know, you.
It's like me with Scott Pilgrim, where it was just like the internet was like, you are doing humanity a disservice if you do not go to the theater and
Sure.
see this movie. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
I'll see it. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So I've for that reason, I've been trying to be better in my life about that. Like I get excited about a thing and I'm like, please see this. And then it's like, I want to say it once and then shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, if you listen, great. If not, like, then in 6 months I'll be like, yeah, I told you, but you didn't fucking listen. but, but guess what? Spoilers, Breaking Bad is great. And I think the number one thing I can say, and believe me, I'm not jumping directly into spoilers because that's the, back up one more time. The other crazy thing that somehow managed to happen is I remain completely spoiler free of Breaking Bad. Despite all of that, I think it's because I just built this bubble where I was like, I don't want to hear anything about Breaking Bad. That it was like somehow I also managed to block out anyone hearing anybody talk about anything major plot point related.
Right.
Just, you know, just a general like, oh my god, thing happened. You know, that kind of stuff. It was like that no context whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that was great. Somehow, like, still being able to watch it and just being like, oh shit, there are reactions that people were having right now that I'm also now having. That it's like, oh fuck, that subverted expectations, kind of things and stuff like that. And that was just kind of great because it was like, after the fact, it was like I was still getting to play the home game because it was like, oh shit, and then you're like, oh shit, and then you're like, everyone else was having that exact same thought 5 years ago, or whatever. So it's just 6-7 years ago, depending on what season. But God, it's just kind of amazing, like that was still able to happen, and that, you know, you and I could talk offline about a couple of those.
Right.
But I think most notably, and the thing that really needs to, that I would put this show above a lot of other shows, and that's not to say I'm now ranking them lower. Things like, I jump immediately what I've always considered my favorite show, and that's Battlestar Galactica, the reboot.
Yep.
Battlestar lost to a degree. You know, these things that like people were fervently, Game of Thrones recently, all the things, these things where people were fervently into, all ended poorly. Very poorly.
Arguably, but yes.
Not any of the ones I just listed. Right. And I admit that as someone who is soft on all of those. Like I forgive their endings. They're not good.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Like I've come to terms.
I think Lost ends fine. I agree with the other two.
Well, Lost ended fine. It just needed to come 2 years earlier.
Sure. Because
everyone was like, "It's this, right?" And they're like, "Nah," and it's like, "But it's this," and they're like, "Nah," and then it gets to the end. It's like, "Oh, it's this." Yeah, it was this. It's that whole like Benedict Cumberbatch con thing, you know. It's like the more you tell us no, the more we're 100% certain this is what this is.
Yep.
You know. But anyway, said all that to say, Breaking Bad ends fucking perfectly, and that's like so rare in a thing that is that big and that huge and that popular. Yeah. It fucking ends, and it's like, yeah, that's how you fucking do this.
When that show ended, I was like, this is now the second show, along with 6 Feet Under, that has stuck the landing in the most remarkable way. It's just like, you did it.
I mean, granted, this is going to sound crazy because I just was listing things that people think are terrible endings. I think the greatest ending of all time is the fucking Sopranos. I really do. I know people fucking hate that, but that is the greatest ending of a show, in my opinion, ever.
Okay.
Because if you're paying attention and not just like, oh, I haven't seen this in 4 years, I'm going to tune in for the finale. 2 episodes before, they literally explain the final scene to you.
I know.
And then
I know.
and then it happens, and
I
you're
know.
like, oh shit, that's kind of amazing.
I know.
But like I said, I feel like too many people did that. They were like, I watched 2 seasons of Sopranos. This is the finale. I'm just going to skip to the end and watch this, and I don't understand the ending. I'm going on record that that's 90% of that reaction.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Endings are hard.
endings are absolutely hard, and that's why I'm saying when something gets it right, it's very, very, very notable, especially if something that is like consistently good all the way through to like, holy shit, you actually nailed the ending.
Yeah.
But other things I wanted to comment is, man, everyone was right. Montages and music choices and stuff are so goddamn good in that show.
I love the hell out of music supervisors who don't go for the obvious.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore that.
Well, even like, I mean, they went for one super obvious song, but they waited until the last season and then did a fucking amazing montage over it.
Yep.
That's the crazy thing is like somewhere along the way, you're like, this song is coming, right? Because it's just like, it's right there and it's so painfully obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it does happen, you're like, okay, well, it finally had to happen. And then it's over what's probably easily the best montage in the series. Like it is the match cuts and what's the other? It's a version of a match cut with the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's called. It's fuck out of my head. God damn it! Those in that show are just amazing. Like
Yep.
I mean, like a single episode will just like nail 5 perfect fucking match cuts
Mm-hmm.
and consistently, and that's just crazy. Like no one puts that much thought into TV editing ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just from a storytelling standpoint. Yeah, that show's great. And I'll shut up about it now. And I'm already 5 episodes into Better Call Saul.
There you go.
So
That's the right move.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to El Camino soon.
I am worried about it.
I got no skin in the game. I'm one of those people like Breaking Bad's fine. Give me more like. It never bothers me. Is all I'm trying to say. We talked about Deadwood. I recently marathon Deadwood.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I really like Deadwood. Yeah, it kind of ends sort of prematurely because they were just like, we're not making any more of this. Sorry.
Right.
I don't. The movie's fine. I don't love it,
Yeah, the movie's fine.
but it doesn't offend me by existing.
Oh,
So-
no. Not.
So I mean, like, I can very easily go like, man, there are 3 great seasons of Deadwood. There's an okay movie,
Right.
if you feel like it.
Well, and it's not that I'm worried about it from a quality standpoint. It's like you were saying, Breaking Bad ends perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
To do another 2 hours of it,
Yeah, but I think I know what they're going to do in it, and it's fine.
me too. But also, I had the same concerns when Better Call Saul started because one, it's a prequel, and I'm like, prequels always fucking suck. They always suck. And I was like, they're not going to be able to capture lightning in a bottle twice. It's just not going to happen. And it has knocked me on my ass every time. Every time. Like, if you ask me what the best prequel anything is, it's Better Call Saul. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's nothing that has even come close.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not far into it, but I'm already leaning towards agree.
Yeah, I mean, when it started, I was like, there's no way they can do this. And I'm like, oh my God, they are really doing this and telling a compelling story that isn't necessarily going in the direction you think it has to go in.
Yeah. To me, all right, sticking the landing, I will try my best to make some gymnastics metaphors that I know jack shit about.
Okay, cool.
I'll be here to correct you.
Right. Okay, so Breaking Bad fucking sticks the landing.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. But
10.
like if you know, it's like a 9.7 on the judges, and the only thing is like, oh, we took off some points because your fingers weren't spread perfectly even when you did your little hooray thing at the end. And
It'd
that's
be like a 9.9.
sure, you know what I'm saying.
9.7.
Like I mean, it's just like it's about as fucking close as you're going to get, unless you get like, well, what about? And that's when that's
Yes.
where I feel like this movie steps in
Yeah.
because, and I don't want to be spoiler. There is a side character action consequence thing that is just kind of backgrounded,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, that's super important to this character, but we don't have time for this character because we're wrapping up the main storyline.
Correct.
And it's sort of like, if this is all about that,
Mhm.
aces.
Yes. Yes. I know and agree with you. Yeah.
So I'm just saying it has potential to be really good, and I feel like if the dude can craft what 80 hours of near perfect television and going on another series again, I think he probably has 92 minutes to an hour, 2 hours in him. I feel like I think everyone understands the stakes of a show like this. You know? So I even more so like because Deadwood's good. Deadwood is a cult thing. Like Breaking Bad was a fucking phenomenon.
It was, yeah. It was,
and
it was the thing.
Deadwood was like, hey, this is good. And people are like, I've heard of Deadwood. Is that an HBO thing?
Yeah.
This is like, Breaking Bad. I feel like there's a pedigree that they know they have to live up to, and they would not make something that doesn't match.
Yeah, Deadwood is like, that's that other show that HBO had when The Sopranos was on, kind of like how The Leftovers was that other show that HBO had when Game of Thrones was on. You're like, hey, this show is really good and you should watch it. People are like, yeah, I don't know. I don't watch many HBO shows unless it's Game of Thrones, and I watch that. It's like, maybe you should watch other things. But, I mean, my concerns are slightly alleviated to where I don't think those guys would come back and make this if they didn't think they had a really good story to tell. It doesn't seem opportunist to me. It seems like, hey, we got it. Let's get together and do this. So, on one hand, I'm like, okay, my trust is there, but on the other hand, it's like, oh no, please don't fuck it up. That's just my worry, but that's my worry about everything. I go into everything now. It's like, please don't fuck it up.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, if it's substandard or whatever, I have zero problem in my head just going like, well, that doesn't exist.
Sure, exactly.
I've done that a billion times. Like
oh, you made a Netflix thing?
well, yeah. I mean it's like like nothing touches the original 2 or 3 seasons of Arrested Development.
Yes.
Depending on what your opinions of it are later, it's like, well, that's cute. You keep going and making it worse, but I still got the original 3, so I'm good.
I've watched season 4 twice, and I'm like, man, they just really fucked that up. There are some good jokes in there, but they fucked it up. But the first 3 seasons are still a pinnacle.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like, talking about substandard continuations, wrap-ups or whatever, I was a huge fan of Dead Like Me, too. And that movie was like, yeah, we needed that, but you could have done better.
Right.
That was another one where it was like, thanks, but also...
Yeah. But also
you couldn't even recast, or you had to recast one person, I believe.
Yeah, because, like, Mandy Patinkin was on another show, and they're like...
I think he was in it. I think it was like... I think it was like the actress, like the...
No, Mandy Patinkin was not in the
movie. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like... Not Georgia, but the other... I thought that she got recast, too.
You might be right.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks for this, but also...
Yeah. Anyway, but we'll see. Anyway, but yes. Don't listen to me. Go watch Breaking Bad.
What?
I'm saying...
Don't listen to me.
I was just going about the... don't the zeitgeist, getting overhyped and saying,
right.
Don't listen to me. Go watch Breaking Bad.
Go watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not that great.
I understand.
Yeah. Speaking just you were talking about pedantic, like fuck, whose comment was it about the God, so it had that like contrarian summary or whatever, we were just talking, somebody just it was fine. It just like we were talking about something universally liked, and it's just like the nitpicky, like...
I remember the conversation. I don't remember what...
Yeah. We were just talking about it, and I really wanted to jump right in with the Breaking Bad talk then, because I happened to jump over to IMDb because I was like, now I've seen it all. I'm going to see like what the world thinks of each episode. Like I want to see the overall ratings because I was not looking at that kind of shit as it was happening.
Yeah.
And I went to a couple of my favorite episodes, and was just like... One of them is 4 Days Out, which I think is in season 2 or 3. It's like the kind of bottle episode one. And it's just like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, great episode. And then one person's like 5 out of 10. Like, I don't know what everybody's talking about. This episode's fine, but because everyone seems to really like it, I don't like it. And I was like,
right.
Wow, I want to be your friend. It's that really fucking cracked me up because it was just like he actually said in there like, because everyone likes it, I don't like it as much now.
At least he's being honest.
Yeah. Anyway, Sorry to interrupt your segues once again.
Like Jesus does.
Like Jesus does.
Well, speaking of
Hey,
bigger than
BJ,
Jesus,
Hey, BJ, what about some contact information? There's your fucking segue.
speaking of that, why don't you head on over to BMFcast.com?
Uh-huh.
Check out all the buttons on the right-hand side. That'll give you all the different socials and stuff that we're on. Send us an email, bmf@bmfcast.com. Give us a call on the Garfield phone. We haven't heard from too many people lately on the Garfield phone. I feel like it's dropping off a little bit. Give us a call.
We have a voicemail.
Yeah.
We'll get
we
to
do.
it.
Okay.
We'll get to it next week, but
Okay.
it is there.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, maybe they're picking back up again, but that doesn't mean you out there in Radio Land should stop.
What's a Radio Land?
I'll tell you when you're old enough.
They have murders there.
Also, don't forget about the Patreon. There's bonus content there. You can pay us for it. It's how we keep the lights on, and how we keep all of my cocaine in stock. What are you looking at me like that for, Chuck?
I wasn't.
Okay.
No judgment.
Anyway, patreon.com/BMFcast. It keeps us from having to sell our organs to buy DVDs and Blu-rays.
Oh, we didn't tell you?
Damn it!
Oh, sorry, dude.
I mean, I thought you'd have known, but
Anyway, thanks for this Blu-ray of Journey to the Mysterious Island.
it's amazing. You get 97 cents for a gallbladder on the black market. But I've completely lost touch with every website, bmfcast.com, email, bmf@bmfcast.com, phone 9105-JOCKS-BMF, patreon.com/BMFcast. Join the Discord, listen to all the podcasts, send us money, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Hashtag like and subscribe.
Yes.
Cool. Hashtag let's get out of here, shall we?
Hashtag yes.
I'm Harlow.
I'm hashtag BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is hashtag BMFcast out.
Hashtag motherfuckers.
Motherfucker.
That was the most inside joke because it's no longer inside, it's outside.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's outside
Actually,
of
that's
me.
the least inside joke.
Yeah, it's a very outside public joke.
I will give Across the Universe this and a little bonus live stream content. Reading through the trivia, there are like a billion tiny references in the movie. And I knew there were a bunch of references. I just didn't know the extent of them. So that's pretty clever to work 850 million references in like that.
I will admit I walked out of the room that movie was being watched in because of a reference.
Which one?
I believe it was at one point someone said, "How did she get in?" And they said, "Oh, she came in through the bedroom window." And I was like, "Fuck off. Fuck off, all of you.
Yeah.
Fuck off." But I was probably in a bad mood that day. But I've never seen the movie in its entirety. I was just like, "No, fuck off. Go to hell."
I mean, that's the weird thing about it. And, this is more bonus bullshit, but
That's a good name for a show.
yeah, it is. Some of it is so spot on, but like the performance works so much for me because, like, yeah, the first time she shows up, it's like, all right, when's Dear Prudence coming? But then the way the song plays out,
Right.
fucking works.
That's why, like, bring the microphone back over
Yeah.
here. That's why. That's part of the the dichotomy of
Right,
my
right.
complaints about it. Like, if you look at that scene, it works, but then you realize the other fucking dude that's singing to him is Jude, and there's Lucy, and there's Max, and there's Sadie, and there's
Yeah, I know.
a Jimi Hendrix. It's like,
A Jimi Hendrix.
yes, JoJo, I think.
I
yeah.
know.
But like, and Sadie was, you might as well have just fucking called her Janis Joplin.
Yeah, I know, I get it. But like things like, I mean,
But yes, there's some.
the visuals on I Just Met a Girl are fucking amazing. Like when the bowling alley dance thing, like that.
Oh, yeah.
In the early days, that's good. And then fucking Happiness is a Warm Gun, like that whole sequence is like, Jesus H, Christ.
Salma Hayek was in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that's just like that whole like.
That was where I expected Maxwell Silverhammer to come in,
Yeah.
and then they, you know.
I'm saying like that whole like in-game sequence of that movie, I fucking dig the visuals on so hard.
Yeah.
But then again, like I love Tommy, and Tommy gets weird and dark too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he drinks a lot. oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You meant that, Tommy.
Anyway, I'm gonna shut it down now.
All right, bye.